don't understand what's happening. I don't get it.
And the only part of his statement that I don't agree with is the last part. It's not whites going against the whites, and I'll explain that after she talks.
I quite frankly, I'm.
That's the way it looks.
I agree. That is the way that it looks. I agree. That is the way it looks.
Real quick, let me interject here real quick, guys. Make sure you guys subscribe to Chaotic Truth up here. And I don't know if Reese, you have a channel.
No, I ain't no content creator.
Okay,
like that.
Vincent
K, are you
Vincent De Leon?
Yes,
you have a
sir.
channel?
Yeah, I do. It's Vincent De Leon.
Make sure you go subscribe to Vincent De Leon. And Miss Renee, do you have a channel?
Yes, Renee Suzanne.
And make sure you guys go check out Miss Renee Suzanne. And also, we just brought up Ryan Mack. Ryan Mack, welcome,
What's up,
sir.
Ryan?
Time to host.
I love that flag, Ryan. I love that flag.
Absolutely.
That's the Civil War flag.
You have a channel, sir?
I do.
Okay. And what is it called?
It's the Ryan Mack Show on YouTube, Rumble, wherever.
Make sure
I
y'all go
want
check.
a white person to answer my goddamn question.
I'm gonna answer.
We'll get back to that question. So we'll let Miss Renee finish it off, and I don't. Then Vincent, then we'll hit Mr. Mack.
I'm going to defer because, quite frankly, I'm dumbfounded by a lot of what happens in the elite of that are really pulling the strings, and I don't. A lot of it, there's an agenda. There's obviously an agenda that I don't necessarily understand entirely, but I am very well aware of 2 or 3, companies owned by white people that are, pretty much owning everything and pulling a lot of the strings. And, you think the president and the vice president, they're the, 2 most powerful people in the country, and that ain't true.
I want to tell you why I said what I said in the first place, right? Because I made a joke. I work around all white people at my job. I'm the only one there. So I made a joke with them the other day. I said, I could smack all 3 of you crackers in the face right now, make one call to Black Lives Matter, and this will be my company Monday morning. That is a true statement on this earth right now. All I have to do is show them a picture of the rope hanging from the fucking garage, and it's over. I'm not even kidding you. We have a noose hanging from our garage. All right? And it's all I would have to do, and I told them that. This is my boss and my supervisor that could have fired me on the spot, even though I was arrogant enough to say that right to their faces. And they knew it. It's literally nothing they could fucking do. Right? I told them I'm not going to come in here and act like an asshole. I'm going to work literally like a Hebrew slave, because that's what I do. But if I wanted to, I could fuck all 3. This is the way the world is right now. White people have almost 0 fucking power right now.
Yep.
Oh yeah,
I'm talking public whites.
Oh yeah.
And 50 years ago, when I was a kid, you could have did whatever the fuck you wanted to do to me. You could have called me nigga, threw water on me and nothing, and you would have beat it at the preliminary. Now, shit, you can't even save yourself. I could kick your fucking front door in and do something to you, and you. That's what I'm talking about. How does there's white people in charge of all this, and y'all, it don't make no fucking sense. Y'all losing. How? That's what I want to know.
Self-hate.
There's one stab at it.
Self-hate.
This shit is confusing, ain't it? It's hard to answer.
Yeah, well, I don't have that kind of self-hate.
I mean, it's not hard to answer, but I'm trying to let her.
Go on.
Tell
No,
me
you
she's done.
come on.
Are you done?
Go.
Are you done?
You go.
All right.
Oh yeah.
All right. Okay. All right. First off, I want to ask. Can I ask 2 qualifying questions first? And everyone can answer this. I don't just want the gentleman, the dragon, to answer this. But okay. So how many?
I got you, man.
All right. So how many at the time? Let's say 1775. Okay. What was the percentage of white people in America at that time that owned slaves legally?
I have no clue.
Anybody?
Did you say?
I would say to answer your question, and MRM, I could definitely hold it down for you. I would say less than 1%. I would assume that less than 1%.
Okay. Anyone else? Anyone?
I would agree with that.
That's probably pretty close.
Okay. All right. Sir, Nothing. Black hat. Yeah.
You agree with that? 1%?
No, I wouldn't even say 1%. I would say less than 1%.
Less than 1%.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So that's correct. All right. Really good guess. All right. It's about everyone estimates between 0.7 and 1.3. It's somewhere in there. Okay.
Yeah.
So we could say 1% is probably a good representation. Now, how many African Americans percentage-wise own slaves?
I think at the
it's
time,
higher than 1.
It's higher than 1%.
Yeah. I even think like supposedly there was a man who petitioned I want to say it's the actual Supreme Court. I don't know whether it was not the Supreme Court, but petitioned one of the colonial states or the colonies
Supreme
for
Court.
yeah.
Yeah. Pardon me real quick. Burton, you're an adult. You can get over it, dude. Cuss words have been around since the Bible, man. It's just
Yeah.
All right.
So what's the percentage for blacks who own slaves?
It was between 5 and 7%.
Damn.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, here's my last qualifying question. Then I'll answer your initial.
So we're still talking in 6 to 8% total.
Yeah. Well, it was between 5 and 7, so an average would be 6.
And
I
what
mean,
was the total population back then?
Yeah, I was gonna
So
ask that.
23 million. 20. Well,
Yeah,
again,
that's
estimations are rough. So
Yeah.
23 to 25 million. Remember,
So that's-
the Civil
again,
War
that's-
decimated us. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Right.
It decimated us.
Yep.
Right? So, but okay. So last qualifying question, and then I'll answer his question. Okay. Where did slavery start? Just concerning the African Americans.
In Africa.
Okay. Why?
Well, I mean, slavery is not a unique.
That's why I said the Africans. Just
Yeah, I mean, it's the Africans.
Yeah,
I mean, there's first of all, even if you go back thousands of years in ancient Egypt, you can clearly see like on the hieroglyphs, they had people in chains.
Well, the Jews, the Jews.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So like the Dogon, when the European went there, the Dogon tribe had slaves. Yeah.
But I'm specifically saying though, of the African tribes, why was slavery so apparent, so prominent, and so practiced in the country of Africa within the African tribes? Why?
You asking the panel or me?
That's a good fucking question. I have no idea.
Okay. Do you guys want to answer? Or does anybody want to guess?
I mean, I can guess. Well, first of all, Africa was always West Africa was very fractured, and the evidence of that is the fact that even to this day you have different languages, different tribes. You had tribes that were constantly fighting each other, so it's likely to assume that when they captured each other, there was a level of indentured
AB,
service.
you're right.
Or
AB got it right. No, you're right. You're going in the right direction.
Yeah, or even like outright slavery to the point where there was a level of torture, etc., to humiliate a tribal group. I mean, hell, there's accounts about the Dogon tribe were horrible slave masters to. Yeah.
And it's kind of a combination of all that, but AB said it pretty basically.
Yeah.
It was when they would fight, kind of like Alexander the Great. Okay.
Yeah.
They would take on whoever they wanted to keep as slaves. And
Right.
you're absolutely correct. It was a symbol of power. It was like, haha, got
A
you,
control
motherfucker.
thing.
We're now better than this group of people. We took them as slaves. And then it would be a process. Now, those same tribes were the first ones to sell African Americans to the Europeans. Those exact same tribes.
You mean African? Okay. They weren't African Americans at the time, but African.
They were selling Africans. They became Africans.
They became African Americans.
Hundreds of years later.
Well, no, they're the ones that actually set up the system.
It became more lucrative.
Well,
sell to other countries.
Yes,
one of the biggest lies growing up, and particularly in school, and I'm pretty sure anybody who went to American school was when I was a kid, right, growing up in American schools, because I ain't never heard about slavery until I got to school, right? They told us about it. I thought that white people went in there with big nets and were just capturing people.
I got me a big one.
When you're a kid, when you're a kid,
I got me a big one.
Yeah, when you're a kid, you don't think about logistics. You don't think about the fact that
you think they had drag nets going from one ship to the other. And just...
But what it really was, it was an actual system of how they did it. It was an actual system. So
it was a trade. There was a trade. It was a
trade. Yeah, the white man wasn't going into the interior getting hell no.
Yeah, and it was cheap. It was much cheaper than buying white slaves, which is what European was doing at the time. So it was much cheaper to go in and buy black slaves. It was just It literally came down to gold, guys.
Yeah.
It's literally what it
Well,
came
it's
down
the product of their times. It wasn't. Yes, there were probably some really terrible slave owners and racists and rapists, but they were mostly doing it for the labor of the time. Where
Yeah.
could you get cheap, affordable labor at a mass production cost?
Right.
Oh, I don't
Especially
know,
across
China?
the South.
Yeah.
You know what?
Yeah.
I'm going to do
That's a
something
whole
for y'all.
other story.
Instead of asking y'all that difficult ass fucked up question, I'll
I'm,
switch it up.
I'm about to answer it. I'm just.
Oh, you want to take a crack at it? Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to take a crack at it. I'm going to tell you why it's happening. All right. So now that we have got all that out of the way, okay, all right, the easiest way for a entity or an enemy or a combatant to destroy another enemy that they can't beat in any type of battlefield is to destroy them from within. Okay, so the statement that you made is amazing, and I'll tell you why. Because you basically said, why are the white people fighting or making the other white people look
Within.
bad? Well, remember, you're talking about the 1% of the 1%. You're not talking about the 63% of America that is white. You're talking about that incredibly small freaking cunt hair that's just like this of the white people that are control basically all of what's going on right now. Okay? And a majority of them have been in power for hundreds of years.
Oh yeah.
Okay? So
Stop right there. Stop
Rob-
right there. Stop right there. All
Okay.
my life, it always seemed like you, right, the regular white, had to be part of the propaganda and play your role, and that's why you were fed bullshit by these same people. But
I mean,
now that what the shit they're feeding everybody is the polar opposite. That's what I'm not understanding. It doesn't make sense. It's like they're cutting their legs off.
Well, look at what was happening when Trump became president. You're answering your own question. Okay? Look at what happened when Trump became president, man. He was not supposed to win, bro. Okay? You got a guy in here who's you can't even trace his own family roots back to owning slaves. You got a guy that's not going to follow the rules of the establishment. You got a guy that's going to come in and drain the swamp. Okay? And I'm not saying he was the perfect president because he wasn't. But what I am saying is he tried to do things that these MFers didn't want to do. They didn't want him to placate. Think about
He wasn't
the
part of the
people-
swamp.
Yeah. Think about the people that he actually affected while he was president. The people that he benefited. Who was it? That's the
I had
answer
4
to your
jobs
question.
in a Benz, and gas was $2.
Dude, $1.68 here, bro. Okay? He affected the blue collar more than any other president ever has in the history of
I was
presidents.
blowing money when Trump was
Yes,
there.
dude. I was rolling in the dough, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So they hated that because what that does is it takes away the ability for them to control us. Think about it. They've been in damage control for what? Since he got elected, right? So we're now pushing 7.5 years of damage control. What did you think COVID was? Sorry, Rovid. My bad.
Yeah.
All right. In Minecraft, YouTube. This is all in Minecraft. Okay. It's a fantasy. It's a dream. Wake up.
Yeah.
All right. So as much as Rovid was real, the output that they put us in was perfect. It fit the perfect time. Let's get everybody inside. Let's make everybody freak the fuck out. Let's make everybody hate their neighbor. It works. And
Y'all, I hated y'all already.
yeah, the easiest way to really answer your question is the reason why whites have been attacked so much is because we're the largest group. If they would have gone after Asians or gone after blacks or gone after Mexicans, it would have gone downhill. But
wouldn't have mattered.
Think about it, dude. Everybody really does hate white people in a certain
They're kind of
aspect
going after
because of the movie.
everybody at once.
Because of Well, but the first one they have to do is tackle the strongest one, which you said yourself is the white guy.
They're trying to
the most
create
prominent.
division, man. I'm telling you, there's
Yes,
some weird
yeah.
things going on.
That's the end
y'all,
game,
y'all know who
dude.
Caitlin Clark
That's
is,
the,
right?
yeah, that's it.
It's all about division.
Yeah, it's all
Y'all know who
division.
Caitlin Clark is, right? I'm asking the white people.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course. Yeah.
All right, so people in my community don't know who she is. She's being masked. and
Yeah. Oh,
covered
dude,
and
she's being
slighted.
complete. Yeah, and
She's
every time she does
literally,
something good.
listen, she's
Yeah.
literally the most compelling sports figure that's ever walked the globe
Yeah.
in human history.
Yep. And
And
if she
nobody in
were
my neighborhood
not
knows
white,
about
Nobody's
they
talking
would
about
know
it,
about her.
Yeah.
They wouldn't if she was black, there
Yeah.
would have been a statue of her.
Already built. Yeah.
Immediate,
yeah.
like yesterday. Yeah.
What and
Yeah.
when I get into conversations, if you could, I wish I could record some of them. People get up out their chairs and ball their fists up and get fiery angry with me and start asking me these dumbass questions when I'm literally just quoting mathematical facts. No one in the history of the world has ever come to a business and increased its value 400% in their first year there. One person. It's never happened in sports.
What was the number of it was on average 15,000 per game that was attending before she was a rookie. And then after she was a rookie, it went to over 40,000, like within the first couple of weeks. And the last numbers that they took from her game before the All-Star game was like 65,000.
Yeah.
So she turned a 15,000 stadium into a 65,000 stadium because that girl can rock the paint.
Check
And
out
that's just
how
the way it
dumb.
is, dude.
Listen, check out how fucking dumb and sexist and racist and hateful that organization is. She's
dude,
clearly the biggest attraction in sports right now,
Yeah.
and they leave her off of the Olympic team.
And it shouldn't have anything
Oh
to
my
do
God.
with what she looks
What would
like.
the jersey sales have done?
She's
With
an
Caitlin
athlete.
Clark,
That's
Olympic
just petty,
jersey.
dude. That's just petty, man. It's like so,
Yeah.
and it's so stupid because they've been playing this victim card for like the last, 8 years now about how
Yeah.
they don't get paid as much
Yeah.
as the men. It's like, motherfuckers, you've never turned a profit.
Yeah, you
In
can't put
20
5
years,
people in a
you've never-
seat.
Yeah, you've never turned a profit, dude.
Do you believe that the straight white woman is at the bottom of the totem pole right now?
No,
I-
sir.
I don't
The
think
black,
straight
you
white
think the
women
black
are.
man is still there?
No,
think
I think the only person lower on the totem pole than the straight white woman
is the straight white
Eh,
man.
is the single
Single straight white man. Yeah, because
single
like
straight white man. My sons are very well aware of the fact that they are on the bottom of the totem
yeah,
pole.
we're literally and we've been turned into like a boogeyman.
and
and
they're
I've-
the bad
yeah,
bad guy. And they're the
and-
problem.
No
And
offense, y'all,
obviously-
but this is fucking
Yeah.
fascinating to somebody who's over their 50s. You got to understand, this is fucking
Well,
incredible.
dude, you're not.
I don't
you're
want
not doing
bad
it
things to happen, but I
Yeah.
could have
Yeah.
never dreamed to this day, ever.
Yeah. Hey,
Oh, I
MAGA.
and
didn't
it's-
raise my boys to know that to think that they were ever going to be in a situation like this. I never thought I'd ever see it either. I'm 53 years old.
Well, let me ask you this. Though. This
My
is
sons are in their 30s.
and I'm over 4. I'm in my mid 40s. So like, let me ask you this question. This is what blows me. Is why is it they all believe the same thing? You ever wondered that? Like, okay, MAGA hat. All right, you and I probably agree on 70% of the shit that you've said tonight. Okay, you and I could sit down and have a conversation without a problem. We'd probably fist bump, high five afterwards. But dude, you go into any restaurant like Starbucks, right? Everybody's talking about the same goddamn thing. Everybody's having the same conversation. They're all agreeing on everything like they're fucking automatons.
Echo,
Yeah, like
echo.
it's
Well,
like
and-
it's like they're reading from a script, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's
they're
insane,
told to
dude.
because they're fearful of speaking
Yeah,
different
it's
for
like
cancellation
yeah,
or attack.
it's like
Yeah.
social media is a god now. It really
Yeah.
is. Social media is a god now, and
You
they
can't have
worship it.
conversations with people who disagree
No.
with you anymore.
No, you
Any
can't.
of you
It's
guys ever heard of
ridiculous.
the phonological loop?
No,
Say
what
it
is
again.
that?
Say
The
it
what
again.
you logical? The what
It's
you
called the
logical?
phonological loop, spelled with a PH.
Yeah, I've heard of it. I can't remember what it means though. I've heard
Just
of
look it up, and it's like it's something science has all the way figured out around about it yet, but it's some theories about it. I believe that it's not a real organ; it's part of the human body. But I think conceptually, all it does is say that we are basically programmable machines, and I believe it. I think we're programmable machines, and depending on what you put in front of somebody, you can make them do and live any way you want them to.
it. All right, I'll read it verbatim.
Study the phonological loop, man. They think that this is the center of the brain, dead, symmetric center, and where all information is gathered through the eyes and ears, and that's how our behavior becomes what it is.
The phonological loop is a cognitive process that plays a crucial role in verbal working memory. It's a mental system responsible for the temporary storage and manipulation of verbal information, such as words, phrases, and numbers. And then there's different stores and different systems inside of it. Okay, I'll check it out later, but that sounds really interesting. I'll look at
Yeah,
it.
the
that's-
part you're
that-
not going to get to is the theory that I have that the human behavior comes from it. That exact concept, whether it's a point in the mind or whatever, that's where our behavior comes from.
But if
Sorry.
that's temporary, there's got to be so. If
Wait.
it's-
Well, let me make sure. I want to understand. I don't want to straw man you. So, I want to make sure I understand what you're saying. You're saying that because of the phonological loop, that's why humans behave the way that they do. Is that correct?
I think all of our behavior comes from inputs, 100% of it. When you're born, you don't even know why you have shit in your pamper.
But wait.
You don't
that's-
even
that-
remove it. You don't even have the intelligence enough to remove the shit.
I understand that, but remember, that theory is destroyed simply by the scientific theory that they already have now from DNA sequencing. So when a baby is born, for instance, let's just say it's a bear. Okay, when a
Right.
bear is born, a bear knows that it can go to a beehive and eat honey.
Not human
Okay.
beings, though.
All right. No, human beings do the same thing. So let's say for
We
the
have
sake
our
of argument,
instincts.
like when a baby is born, a baby knows how to swim. But then a baby loses the ability to swim after it reaches about 8 months. Okay? Because
Makes sense.
okay,
Yeah.
so that's just one example. Another
Mhm.
example is
That's just the same as your jump shot going away because you stopped playing ball. That's all it is.
a baby automatically knows who its mother is. Okay,
Mhm.
a baby automatically knows that it has to suck the nipple in order to get nutrients. It doesn't even have to be asked; it automatically knows. And there's other examples. I'm not intelligent enough to name all the examples, but now what I think you're trying to say, and
Smell.
please
But,
shut
but
me
the
up.
baby
Shut
doesn't
me
know
up.
what a nigger is or a fag or
No.
dog.
That's
Right.
I was
And
just about
that's
to
where
tell you.
he's
That's-
going to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
that's where I'm going to.
Yeah.
Now there is like for instance, now the biggest input would be social media. Okay,
Mhm.
it's already been proven that social media is more addictive than any drug other than heroin. Okay, that's why kids get so angry when you take away their phone.
They'll
They
fight
get-
you to the death.
Yeah, they will literally go crazy. I had
They'll
three
call the
nieces.
police on you.
I have three nieces, okay? And when I would take them camping or I would take them hunting or I would take them out on any type of trip whatsoever, whether, it was going to be something that was in the woods at a cabin or we were going like someplace like Disney, right? Okay? I would make them put their phones up. Now, the first 24 hours were absolutely fucking horrible. Okay? Like I wouldn't even try to do anything with them. I wouldn't try to do any constructive stuff. I would sit there and just talk to them for like 24 hours. Get to know them, catch up with them, try to figure out what's going on. All right. But then slowly but surely, as I wean them off of it, because I'd stay with them for a week, all right, they slowly would start coming back to like this normal, I say normal-esque attitude.
I know
Because
exactly what you're talking about.
I'm taking them away from the screen because, dude, this thing is
Yeah.
deadlier than anyone wants to admit.
Yeah, it is a virus.
This thing, and that's one of the reasons
Listen
why
to
we have
this.
the
I
Will
want to
Find
tell you
virus.
something real quick, right? My daughter's 30, right? Every waking minute that I've ever spent in her entire life, I spent it looking at her on her phone, pretending to listen to me. That's how every waking moment that we spent together has been spent until she's 30 years out. I can't even go around her anymore.
Nope.
2 daughters like that, though.
Nope.
Mhm.
I have
I mean,
zero.
It makes no sense for me to even go around my own children because I know cognitively I understand that I'm just going to be sitting there watching them on their fucking phone. So it's a waste of time.
Well,
That's the new world we live in now.
I told my wife that our kids aren't even getting phones that are going to have smartphones in them until they're at an age that I could sit them down and talk to them about it. Like,
Yeah.
because I mean,
You have to.
yeah,
You have to.
I mean, there's access to too much stuff on there.
I
And
was a barber in the early 2000s when this bullshit first started,
yeah,
and I started a movement from my own chair. I told every parent I knew, do not give your kids these fucking phones. I had a cell phone in the 80s when they were $1,000 and $1 a minute.
Yep.
And there wasn't no 8th graders with them. My bill used to be like
Nope.
$2,500 a
Now
month.
there's
I
third
knew
graders
what
with
that
them.
shit was doing to me psychologically, and it wasn't even no images on it.
Yeah.
I knew what that phone was doing. So I knew the ones with the images
Yep.
and the bullshit the way YouTube started,
Mm.
right? YouTube was here before the kids had phones. They prepped this shit.
yeah. It was like, well, that
And was the most raunchy, ratchet shit in the world. The only thing they showed
God.
was brawls and fights and
What
bum
was the-
fights. And
yeah, it was bum fights.
girls
What was-
getting their head
what-
chopped off and all this other shit.
What was the one
Yeah.
where the guy with the serial killer was? What was that one? He was he set up the dates on it. I forget what it was called.
Oh.
It was back in the aughts. Remember? I can't remember what it's from. But hey, and for the people in the chat that are saying that I don't know what I'm talking about, you're more than welcome to come on this panel with a set of balls and actually debate me on it. I will debate you anytime, anywhere on anything that I've said. All right, I
How
don't
the fuck
talk
do
about
you
something.
debate something that happened though? That's
No,
what I don't
but-
understand
well,
about
like
debate.
they're basically saying that I don't know what I'm talking about because they don't agree with it. They don't actually have anything to back it up with. So I'm saying no balls. Just like any Marine would say, no balls. Bring it on. All right. So
I got two things. I got two things to say.
So-
One is we didn't. Well, okay, a couple of things. We never gave any of our children cell phones, which at the time were not smartphones. They weren't until they were 13 and older. and it was about a being in touch, being able to call home. You're at school, something happens, this, that, and the other. And then it became, now we can talk to all of our friends. And now then it was all texting and whatever. But this, yeah. I'm sorry, I forget your name, young man, in the way.
How old are you, sister?
I am 53. But
I'm 54. Me and you are exactly the same.
I know, right? But zero of my kids are sitting there with their phones or ever have been sitting there with their phones while I was trying to have a conversation with them. Absolutely zero.
You mentioned something interesting to me about them being able to contact you if something happened in school, right? But
or school. I mean, stay after
right,
school.
Whatever. Before then, right? For millions of years,
nothing,
we did just fine without it.
Oh, I know. I did.
We did just. Yeah. There was never ever a reason to give children phones ever.
Well, you know what? You
wait till they get a job and buy their own. That's when they get a fucking phone.
Okay, but
and if they live in your house, not even then.
What made
my rule was you get a phone when you leave this motherfucker.
When you can pay for it, you get your phone. That's what I told my boys.
Dude, how about this though? This is what scares me.
Columbine changed schools allowing students to have phones.
Oh yeah.
Third graders and younger in my school district here have phones. That's what's scary. Third grade and younger have phones.
The big outlying, not the thing that wasn't hardly ever happening, ever. And now, everybody needs a phone. Everybody needs a phone just in case you need to, get out. Like the
your child today in 2024 can push a button and see Megan Thee Stallion. Yeah. Twerking with a fucking presidential candidate.
Well, look what real.
Oh my god! What was that, dude? What the fuck was that?
Listen to this. I want to talk to his sister that's my age.
I was like,
listen. If we get our hands on a time machine, let's take a trip back to 1984 when we're in 11th grade, and let's tell everybody in our class, hey, we just came from the future, and there's someone shaking their ass on stage to rap music with a presidential candidate. They'll lock us up. They'll put us in a rubber room, and you know it.
And you didn't even have to be in the room to see it.
Men going into women's bathrooms.
Yeah.
No, men boxing women.
Trump isn't presidential because he doesn't twerk. Okay.
Men boxing women in the Olympics and everyone cheering for them.
Hold on, wait a minute. Hold on, wait a minute. Oh. My childhood hero, right? My childhood hero. First white man to beat all the niggas in track and field ever.
Became woman of
the year.
Yeah,
he was only one for 9 months, bro. Dude, the best part of him though, he killed 2 people that year.
Yeah,
2.
Yep.
He ran over 2 people and he still got woman of the year.
I have another thing to say though, that just like there was this great big change from my dad's generation to us. My daughter. I have 2 grandchildren, a third one on the way. My daughter has a 3-year-old and a 1.5-year-old that have never, and I mean never, watched television. They have never. They are outside.
Yeah.
They are moving their body around, playing, getting exhausted. They have each other to play with. They have friends that are. My daughter's friends with their friend, this woman, and she's got these kids that, multiple ages and stages, and they've got toys to play with. The kind of toys they have to play with are not electronic toys.
Oh, we had the best toys, dude. We had the best toys.
Yeah, it was
Transformers were made of imagination. Metal. You remember that? Transformers were made of metal, dude. They were like weapons.
Hey, you know what's sad, yo? The 2 brothers on the panel with us, right? They're much younger than me. Mm-hmm. These 2 brothers they've never had a sniff of a half decent world whatsoever. They are post
how old are they?
Rodney King and all that kind of shit. They were small toddlers and stuff. You know what I mean? By the time they were thinking teenagers and ready to fuck and all that, everything was already in hell. They had phones and people were wearing their pants with their ass out.
Yeah.
It was already hell before they got a chance to even develop their fucking
Chaotic.
brain.
What's your age, man?
I'm 39.
There you go.
Right.
Poor guy.
There you go.
The world's been fucked, man.
You can do the math. In the year 2000, when the towers hit, he was what?
I was in I think 2001. I was in 10th grade. I was in homeroom.
You've never seen a good planet. Not in the 70s. It looked like we were going somewhere, yo. It looked like it was hope, and then all of a sudden, bam.
I was doing winter training in Bridgeport, California. Well, mountain training. It still got cold as fuck at night. When the towers got hit, and he's not lying, man. Like everything changed after that. Everything. I mean, you might not have seen it like all like overnight, you know. But like for instance, a guy like me that travels a lot, you know, the airports. Dude, I could get to an airport inside the airport in 15 minutes.
What? There was a time when you could go to the airport in Philly randomly and just decide on random. Okay, I want to go to Miami real quick.
Yeah.
Bam! Jump on a plane. You're on the plane in 15 minutes, and go to Miami, get a half a kilo of cocaine, put it in your pocket, get on the plane, and come home.
Dude, I bought a sword. Dude, I literally took a sword. I bought a sword in California. Okay, it was a 3.5 foot long sword. It was a rapier. Okay, I put it in my bag, showed it to the lady at the airport, and put that bitch on the plane. Okay, like
I'm not even kidding you. You could get on the plane with bomb materials back in the 80s.
Dude, they didn't give a fuck, bro.
Nobody
can't even bring a bottle of water on the plane now.
No, yeah. What is it like? You gotta have like 2 ounces or some shit. Yeah.
Oh, you can bring water on the airplane if you bought the water after you went through security in the airport.
Can I ask the panel a question real quick? I know this is gonna suck. Okay, this is gonna blow.
Let's do it.
All right, you ready? This is gonna suck. All right.
Oh.
What is a woman?
Hey. Hey.
Come on.
A human with a vagina.
Okay.
No.
Period.
No.
Born with the vagina. Born with the vagina.
Born with the vagina. Born with a uterus. Born with, you know,
fallopian
tubes and a certain amount of
mammary glands
and a certain amount of eggs.
Can we all agree that men can't? Can we all agree with that?
A woman is a human that can produce milk. Period. End of story.
Okay. All right. I mean, because apparently I have to ask that now because it's really confusing to people. I mean, dude, I asked this 67-year-old man.
They'll define it with the woman word in the definition. Well, it's a woman. It's a woman who feels like they're a woman. That's not what the definition is.
You can't use the word in the definition to define the word.
Okay. A buddy of mine, a ranger buddy of mine, his parents live in Austin. Okay, shit you not. This is a phone conversation I had 3 weeks ago. We're on speakerphone. They've known me for years. Okay, and I've got him on speakerphone. His mom's in the room. His sisters are in the room. Dad's right there. And I'm like, hey, you guys live in Austin, you know? And I was talking to my buddy, and I'm like, how woke are they? He's like, dude, pretty woke. And I'm like, okay, cool. Let's play a game with it. All right. So he puts me on speakerphone. I give 2 fucks. I don't give a shit. Okay. And I say, hey, Pop, you know, because I've known him forever. I go, what is a woman? I shit you not. This 67 fucking year old man that has 3 fucking kids and has been married to the same woman for over 40 fucking years goes, well, Vincent, that's a very hard question to answer. It's very complicated and it's full with nuances. And I'm just like, I've known this guy for almost 2 decades. Okay?
I mean,
I'm like, what the fuck?
Okay, we might be mysterious and we might be complicated and we might be bitches. But what's a woman isn't complicated.
It ain't hard, man. It ain't
hard. It isn't hard.
It hadn't been hard for 3,000 years. It ain't hard now. There's something hard that goes inside of a woman's vagina. Okay. Shit. All right. But it ain't hard to tell you what that is.
Yeah.
It ain't hard to tell you.
That goes back to what this whole conversation we had earlier about the control dynamic.
Yes.
This is what they do to a society that was on the pedestal of where we're at. They got to take out the man. They got to divide. They got to confuse a population younger than them so that they don't know what a woman is, what a man can get pregnant. Then you divide by race, where the black man's got to get his way because the white man's had his way too long. That's where we're at. That you divide a nation and crumble it when you start dividing by race and sex, and then everything else comes in. The education system, everything gets divided against each other. Everybody's fighting each other instead of just being Americans. And that's how you divide a nation and take it over.
Okay, well, can I have something to say though?
Yeah.
I always grew up knowing though, and you can correct me wrong because a lot of you seem to know a lot more about the international part of the world than I do. But I was told we have our problems here because we're quote unquote a melting pot. We have so many races, we have so many people that are different cultures and whatnot, trying to intermingle and live together. Now, in the rest of the world, anywhere there's problems within a country, or a country next door to another country, it has to do with, they'll fight over religion. They're homogeneous, in the sense that they're all the same. They're all the same, but they will fight over differences in religion. Here, it's because we've got everybody of every different race and every different religion, and there's always going to be conflict here.
Yep.
And quite frankly, I mean, I remember trying to discuss this with my nephew who lived with us for a while. He had no idea about that slavery was not just something that started in the South of
most people don't.
The southern states of America. And he didn't know about slave trades. He didn't know that other countries did, and other races did that too. And he would just constantly, he's a millennial. I mean, well, he's at the very end of the millennial. And he would always constantly just tell me how bad America was terrible. America was terrible. America was terrible. America was terrible. I'm like, tell me one other fucking country. Tell me one.
Yeah.
You go find out. Look on the internet that you're so staring at all the time. Do your research. Find yourself somewhere where you are freer. Find yourself somewhere where they're not gonna.
Where you can say what you're
no matter
saying.
what. Say whatever you want. Hell, you want to say.
So,
you can be gay and not be killed.
Yeah.
All of you alphabet soup people, why don't you go over to Iran for a couple months? Let's see how you do.
I'm a millennial, and I was born in '87, and I grew up in that kind of like, we were the mock generation. Like, we were weak, couldn't do anything but be all this new half tech, half not tech stuff. And now we're one of the generations tasked with kind of fixing everything, along with Gen X. And you're seeing a millennial conservative push because more people my age group are getting married, they're having kids, they don't want any part of the once liberal association they had to begin with when they came out of college. So you're seeing it reverse, where you're seeing Gen Z and younger staying single. The idea of having kids is not a thing for them. They don't want to get married. They don't even know what a woman is. They don't know who they are.
Oh, look at OnlyFans, bro.
Yeah.
It's all by design.
Exactly. It's
all
too
by design.
easy, too accessible to have that kind of filth at your fingertips. Why would you ever be in a relationship then? Not to mention they've been told that marriage is terrible and the family is terrible. That's how you get an entire generation to believe the crap that we're believing now.
I've got a son. I do have one son who absolutely refuses. Says he's never ever getting married. Why would he ever? Why would he ever get married? Wait.
None.
He says, why should? And he's making over $100,000 a year by himself right now at 29. He works from home. He can work anywhere in this country and still, remote. Why? In his opinion, I divorcing their father. I ruined him about marriage, and the one girlfriend he's ever had, her breaking up with him and doing what she did ruined trust. And he said, now why would I ever trust someone, a woman, because when she could marry her and then she could take half of every single thing I have.
Damn.
And
experience is far less negative to get over.
Yeah. But the thing is, I'm like, dude, generational trauma, I get it, okay, but like, I'm sorry I divorced your dad, but you deal with your own shit about why that affects you and why that bothers you and the women that you see or that are your age that would be your potential mates and whatever. Women my age are not. Right. It took a lot before I divorced their dad.
Any of y'all got teenagers?
Pre-teens. I got 10 and 12.
No.
I have a theory. I have another theory too, right? Because all my life I noticed that I used to see pregnant teens and pregnant young women by the thousands everywhere I went in the world, my whole life. But in the past, I don't know, 2 or 3 years, I don't think I've seen one pregnant teen or pregnant young person.
Nope.
Do you understand that mathematically, right? The way American business goes and the growth and all of that.
We need a certain amount. Yep.
You need human beings to be born for these businesses, not only to grow, but to continue operating.
Oh yeah. Well,
kids continue this trend, I'm talking about for another 5 years. they will reset the world.
Mm-hmm. You look at what happens in Japan. They're becoming an aging population, and they're not reproducing at the rate they used to.
Dude, they have cities over there without human beings in them.
They are collapsing as an economy because they're not reproducing.
If they don't start
at the level
fucking, they will destroy all of us.
They've actually started now paying foreigners, specifically white foreigners. Doesn't matter what country you're from. You just have to be, Anglo-Saxon. They're actually paying them to come over there to impregnate their women. That's a real thing.
Yeah.
Well, the problem, I think, from what I understood, was the women were like, "Fuck this shit, we're working."
Yeah. Well, I think it comes down to, and I know that Ty and others have mentioned this.
They stay in the workforce. They're like, you know what? We don't need a man. We can do this ourselves.
It's actually not that. That does happen, but that's not really why. There's two main factors. One of the largest populations of gay men come from Japan, and really? One of the largest issues that they have in Japan is that there's now 3 women for every 1 man.
Ooh, yeah.
So it basically becomes this. Unless they're going to start harems, which I'm not saying harems are bad. I'm not saying harems are good, but unless they're going to start harems, which has been known to actually be beneficial for the Japanese culture. That's happened before, but unless they're going to start doing harems, yeah, they're SOL. And the problem with the women, majority of them, is that now with the access to social media and dating sites, they're seeing men out there that won't treat them like a piece of property, basically. Mm-hmm. Okay, so because the average American male, as much shit as the OnlyFans girls try to talk about us, the average American male, it doesn't matter what his race is, we treat women better on average than almost any country, like period. Okay, we're nice to them, we let them do what they want, we open the doors for them, we're chivalrous. Okay, I mean we're pretty lenient with our women and what we allow them to do.
We give up our fucking seats, man. They don't do that anywhere else.
Yeah, they don't do that anywhere else. So the Japanese man is the exact opposite. Japanese man is incredibly disciplined. He's incredibly strict on his women. I mean, if you watch some of the videos of them, I mean, it's like coming home to a woman that doesn't really have any choice in what she's doing. Okay, I'm not saying the Japanese culture is bad.
Yeah, there's no emotional connection. Yeah.
Well,
exactly. She kind of understands and doesn't complain about it either.
No, she does not. But she knows that she can't.
Well, she's also taking care of his parents because they live generational like that too.
Yeah.
That's often the case also.
It does happen, not as much as it used to. If you go to more of a royal Japan, yes, but in the city, not so much.
Oh,
in the city, it's work.
When I had my mother living here with me, the majority of people that ever came up to me and complimented me for taking my mother into my home when she was sick and taking her to her doctor's appointment, having her live with me, and taking that on as something that you take on as a responsibility as an adult child.
Yep.
We're Asian people.
Yeah. No, I mean the Asian culture is. Yeah, I mean. Yeah.
And so they've got them living with them. I was on a random live at 5 a.m. in my backyard. Whoever wanted to show up showed up. A young man who was 34 years old from Malaysia, and another young man from Pakistan. And the man from Malaysia said, that he had his why he wanted to know why Americans kicked their kids out at 18. I said, well, first of all, I can't say that we kicked them out. It is an age of majority here. They have a lot more their legal rights technically at that age. Does that mean they're smart enough? Does that mean they have the means to take care of themselves?
Yeah. It's not absolute, but
absolutely. But that's what they see. And he said, because over here, he goes, I got my mama, my daddy, my grandma, my grandpa, and they're lucky and sometimes a great grandma or grandpa, an auntie because she lost her husband, she's moved into. And then that young man from Pakistan, he was 34 years old. He goes down, don't tell nobody. He goes, I'm not supposed to have a girlfriend because that's supposed to be taken care of by my parents.
The arranged marriage thing. Yeah.
But don't tell nobody. He goes, but I do. I said, okay, I keep your secret over here in my backyard in Illinois outside of Chicago. But and so I'm 34 years old. It was like he was whispering it to me, like telling me a secret. Don't
You
tell
don't want to
nobody.
make his mom mad. You don't want to make his
Yeah.
mom mad. Yeah.
I wanted to highlight Snowflake's comment up above there about.
Oh, I know
the
you've been
birth
reading that
calling.
too, huh? You've been
Yeah.
reading that too, right?
So, and that's a good point because
Which one?
with the feminist push for birth control, abortion, college before
This one?
marriage, and the marriage
Yeah.
falling, so marriage has become like a second thought in a worst case scenario. Like, I don't want to get married; it's too expensive, and I don't like the other person I want to live with. Why can't we just be
Oh.
roommates and whatever? And
Well, but-
college is still like, hey, you can't do anything without a 4-year degree. I have a 2-year degree, and I've worked
No,
about
exactly.
a dozen jobs that didn't require a degree.
yeah.
Right.
And
Well,
so
a dozen jobs
this
is different
feminist
too.
push, like birth control, abortion, the toxic man thing, that's driven away the whole culture of
Yeah,
a
it has,
healthy
yeah.
marriage. There's no respect for the traditional marriage and the fruit that marriage provides. The first commandment was be fruitful and multiply. That was God's command to Adam and Eve. That was the whole purpose of marriage, to be fruitful and multiply. Now, yes, it has more of a population of the
Benefits.
earth too, but
Yeah.
that was the first original command: be fruitful and multiply. That was God's covenant between man and woman to bless that togetherness.
Well,
and
yeah.
we have seen a cultural rot of the institution of marriage as a whole.
Well,
and that's
and-
why
and-
you're seeing the decline.
And a cultural rot of who's the head of the household.
Yes, because both want to compete to be the head of the household.
Who's the protector?
Yeah.
I know what my role was. I've
Yeah.
worked 2 years in my life.
Right.
2 years.
And
it
you
was
weren't denigrated from it, right? You were,
No,
the men
no,
were
no,
the
no, no,
provider, protector, and the priest of the household.
The only 2 years I ever worked in my life is because I was single between marriages. I was and I have been a stay-at-home
I was just
mom.
about to say, Snowflake, that is key right there. Dude,
Yeah.
Snowflake just dropped the bomb. Yes.
Yeah.
Thank
What
you,
did
Snowflake.
you say?
And a
Tell
woman
women
said
to
it.
go be a boss babes. Yeah, see, I mean, I was told I could be whatever I wanted, but you know
Which
what?
is bullshit.
Okay, well, no. I could have been. I could have.
No, you can't. No, you can't. Could you be
Well,
a
I mean,
bricklayer?
no,
Could you work
no.
in the coal mine?
No,
Huh?
come on.
Could you
That's-
go to the NFL? And
okay,
play
but
up
that's
as
not-
running back? No, you
Whoa,
can't.
whoa. Within the constraints of a very traditional
Son, I know you're a
father.
paraplegic, but you can be a basketball player. I
Dude.
swear.
dude. Okay, whatever I could set my mind to and succeed at, I could be. Okay, but you know what? I've always wanted to be I thought I wanted to be a lawyer for a while. I've had a million people say you'd be because I have a very don't interrupt me.
Okay.
I have a very medically fragile child at home. I could be a nurse. I could be a fucking doctor. I have people ask me if I'm in the medical
Agreed.
position.
Agreed.
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
And not that I would want to be, because no, it's nothing I'd ever want to do. Have I fought with the school district like a boss bitch? Have I? Yes, I absolutely have, in defense of my child for special ed.
Okay.
So being a stay-at-home mom gave me a little of every single thing that I
Which, by the
might
way,
have
thank you for
ever.
that. By the way,
which-
thank you for that.
yeah,
Thank
well,
you. Seriously.
but it gave me a little bit of anything I ever thought I might want to do outside of staying home.
Okay,
Mhm.
but my only point was this, because you said this, and I believe you said it too, but the concept that's going on right now is that men and women are completely the same. That's what I'm talking about. They're
No.
not. They're
No.
not the same.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
All right.
I will get behind my husband. I'll get in front of my
Yeah,
children, but I will
Like,
get behind my
there's-
husband.
There's okay, and again, something that I try to explain to people that makes this argument just go away immediately is it's something called the fireman's carry. Does anybody know what the fireman's carry is?
Yep.
Anyone?
That-
The military carry, not the fireman carry, but the military fireman's carry. Does anybody know what it is?
the
Anybody?
military, no.
Okay. You literally have to pick a person up and throw
Oh.
him over your back.
Yeah. Okay.
Oh, I
okay.
know what you're talking about. I know
Okay.
what you're talking
Yeah.
about. Yeah.
And it's a specific technique. Okay.
Mhm.
So basically, the way I describe it to people is, okay, you can do whatever you want, right? Mommy rose you up. You're a boss, babe. You don't need no man. # kill all
Oh.
men, right? Okay.
No,
Here we go.
yeah.
Here we go. Now I'm just talking about these women that
Now,
we're speaking of,
now,
not you.
yeah, yeah.
Okay. So I asked him. I said, okay, there's a guy. He's missing his foot. He weighs 230 pounds. He's got 115 pounds of gear on him. You got to pick him up in a fireman's carry. You weigh 110 pounds. Do it.
And you got to run how far with him too?
To the helicopter, however far it is,
Right.
to the evac. Okay,
Yep.
do it. And then they give me this look like, well, that's different. It's like, No, it's not. Okay, that's literally what you just said. You said I can do anything that a man can do. Okay,
No.
well, why don't you go sit out and go lay bricks for 12 hours?
Yeah, I'm very, very. I don't want a fireman or a paramedic coming to my house that is a female that got that job because they lowered the requirements in order to have a female in that firehouse.
I mean, if they're going to lower the requirements, that's
don't
different.
don't be lowering the requirements.
Don't lower that requirements.
Don't lower the requirements.
Now that being said, though, I have trained women that are 6 foot 200 pounds.
Yeah, great.
Okay, and you know what? You don't want to get hit by her. She will knock you the fuck out. All right, but she's 6 foot and 200.
Yes,
fucking pounds.
there's a difference between physically able to do it and training to do it, and then you have the DEI mess of the Secret Service. We have Melissa McCarthy guarding the president, who's 5'4.5" and 250. That's not physically fit. There's a huge difference in women who train physically and are able to do it versus what's going on now.
Dude, she was like a round ball. She was.
There's no way she's federally able to.
Well, why do we have police? Why do we have police that
bounce that bitch off a wall, dude? Like what the fuck?
Why do we have policemen that have bellies over their belts?
No, good point. They can't go. I tell everybody, hey, if you're gonna be a cop, walk up 3 flights of stairs. Let me see what happens afterwards.
No,
there are federal requirements that are different, and they test yearly at the federal level. It should be a federal standard, and how I think they're lowering it for men and women in the Secret Service.
Yeah, well, and when it comes to police, I don't know that there's ever been the same kind of requirements when it comes to them versus firemen and
and the protectee doesn't change. Exactly. So physically, you can't change the standards for the agents because the protectee doesn't change.
I forget when it was. The commandant of the Marine Corps. The commandant is like a 5-star general in the Army. The commandant is the big honcho.
And women.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So he came out and they were trying to get him in a gotcha moment. This interview was, I think, a couple years ago. They're trying to get him a gotcha moment and saying, why he won't allow women, to do certain things. And he's like, look, this is very basic and simple. Because they asked him to lower the standards for the Marine infantry. And he said, as of today, this is a long time ago. I don't know how many it is today. So nobody out there gotcha me on this. I don't know what the exact number is now. All right. But at that time, only 11 women had actually made it through the ITB, which is infantry training battalion. Okay. So he said, and that's the way it's going to stay. He goes, because the moment that I lower my standards for anyone to get through, we weaken the military. Period. End of discussion. So that's a trickle down effect. So if we weaken the fire departments or lower, let's say we start lowering the standards for becoming a doctor, we're going to raise the death that happens in hospitals.
Unfortunately, they have.
Well, they have.
Well, and not to mention that
makes perfect sense in today's world. I mean,
well, and just from an economic standpoint, I don't know how many doctor's offices I've been to that I can't get proper medication updates and things like that for my child because a nurse has to do that. But in this whole entire floor of 6 pediatric subspecialists, ain't not a damn one of them, but one sitting in a glass office, a nurse, and they can't. Nobody but her can change stuff in the computer. For medication. Well, then you know what? Don't hand me this fucking piece of paper that then when he goes inpatient, y'all going to give him all the wrong stuff. So you got to stand there by your kid all the time. Yeah. No, from money drives a lot of that too. A lot of it. I mean, and you're being roomed when you go to a hospital. You go to a doctor's office. Odds are you are not being roomed or take your medical history or any of that other bullshit. Vitals, even your fucking vitals, are not being taken by nurses.
Okay, let me ask this though. Let me ask this question. This is a question that's been bugging me for a very long time. Okay, my voice is changing. You see how worried I am. How far are they going to go? And you know what I'm asking. Mm-hmm. How far is this going to go? Like, is it going to be to the point to where I'm pushing my 5-year-old daughter in a bathroom with a full-grown men and there's nothing I can do about it?
Yeah. Oh, no.
Is that where it's going? And I won't even be able to tell him to, hey, please, sir. Let my daughter.
I think the bigger question is how long are we gonna let it happen?
Yeah, that's it.
Keep going.
Yeah, exactly. And a lot of it.
It's the same thing with COVID. How long did we let them keep telling us? 2 weeks to slow the curves. 2 weeks,
why are
2 more weeks.
Republicans being pussies, dude? Why? Why did it take them?
Well,
so
it's not a
long
right or left thing.
to
It's just
act?
it's a people thing. Like, how long are we gonna let them do things?
I don't know.
So
dude.
check this out. In reality, if you have people that's not scared, what I don't understand a lot of times is that why do people seem to want to wait and seem like they need to hear from our so-called leaders before we do anything?
Right.
So I can tell you this right now, up here in Chicago, if a man walks into a little girl's bathroom, it doesn't happen.
Nope.
You want to know why? Because they will beat his bricks off, and by the time the police are called or even show up, nobody's seen nothing. No, I mean, this is happening in Walmart's up there. This is happening in different stores up there. So the only ones that we hear about this, and I'm not trying to say that these people are attention seeking or anything like that. I'm not saying that. But we only hear about it because somebody recorded it and they rather uploaded it. If they would have just not even turned their phones on, called their boyfriend, hey, come here, look at this man in this bathroom. Dudes them coming in, walk, dude unconscious. The men walk out of that bathroom, they're like, let's get out of here. Let's get out of here. Somebody gonna say, hey, I don't know what happened, but I was in the bathroom and these guys came in here and jumped me. Well, why? I was just in here. And I was in it. Was a little girl in here? Yeah, but I didn't do anything to her. So why would they be? I'm telling you, this happens all the time, but it don't get reported. Want to know why? Because what they do, they want to keep it out of the news. They want to keep it out of the media that people are beating these men up that's in these women bathrooms. Because what it's going to do, it will have the adverse effect. There will be no sympathy for them. There will be no sympathy for the so-called trans. It'd be more like all these men. Like, wait a minute, there was no arrest. No, oh shoot, okay, it's on now. They don't want that to happen, but it is happening.
Yep.
So I don't.
So we have all gender bathrooms, and if you can use it if there's the male symbol, the female symbol, the family symbol, and it's one person, very large, like single use.
Bathroom. Well, and I think that's that some places and some businesses here in Illinois have skated around that.
But
you made it look like it was an all gender just to skate by the rules as much as possible. The small town I live in, the newly built bar and distribution brewery here, they fought the bathroom law and they said absolutely not, we don't really care. So whether they just have like a short symbol of like anybody can use it, that's literally the minimum what they're doing. I think if you go to ISU or
it's the same thing,
campuses, they're going to include all the language, all gender bathroom, whatever. But most,
it better be a single person bathroom where nobody else can get in.
Okay,
the door locked.
Notice that there's always a push for. You notice this one I don't get. And this what should be kind of people need to be taken into consideration is that why is it that when it comes to things like that, it's the men fighting to get into these women's spaces? I don't see no women. You don't see any women trying.
Don't get me started on the percentages, dude. I know the percentages.
Women trying their hardest to get into a men's locker room.
Yeah,
because guess what? If a woman goes into a man's locker room when men are all in there naked and she come in there with her parts and she even try to act butch, them men just look at that and say, "I will smash." That they don't care. You can try to be, hey, what's up with y'all? How y'all? Them men gonna look at you and be like, I will. Girl, you're gonna hear all kind of. Acting like a woman, acting like a man with all your woman parts, and see if these men gonna sit there and be like, oh yeah, I'm not.
See, that's also part of the problem, though, is stuff like that is considered funny. A lot of it's just laughed, right? A lot of it's just laughed. But if that were to happen in real life, not a single one of those guys. I'm generalizing. Not a single one of those guys or anyone would report her walking in there doing it. But one guy walks into a woman's bathroom.
Yeah.
All right. Everybody knows. One guy walks into a locker room. Everybody knows. Okay.
One guy is more of a threat to a group of women.
But it's still
than
wrong.
One woman is.
I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about that. I'm not talking about the threat level.
It's still the same premise.
It's still
wrong for women to go into a
no one's gonna call her out.
Dudes.
Yeah, no one's gonna call her out and say, "Oh my god, dude, I played football in high school." All right, and I tell you what, if a chick or a teacher would have walked in our bathroom, hell would have broken.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
But today we have interviewers going inside of the football players' locker rooms. They're females.
Yes.
Okay. Like right after a game, there's dudes walking around butt ass naked. No one says anything.
Yeah.
Now with the same thing that I was mentioning. Now check this out. When I said about the women going into the men's locker room, I truly believe that if it was, like for example, where we're hearing about the Planet Fitness and everything, it was a little girl that was in there with this man being
Oh
in there.
God, Planet
if there are
Fitness,
some
dude.
men,
Oh my God.
there are some men in the locker room, and a little girl walks in there. Those men most likely be like, "Hey, get out of here!" You know, they're going, "What are you doing here? You lost?" You know, I doubt men gonna be like, "Well, you know, if she thinks she's a young man, then
Yeah.
unless they're sick."
Dude,
Yeah.
okay, but Planet Fitness has the universal bathroom, the universal locker room, where any dude, any chick, any child can walk in and take a shower and get undressed. I didn't.
That's insane.
I went in there for like I had a massage appointment from one of the muscle workers. All right, he was gonna. I had a kink in my arm, so I go in there to change. I didn't know. I'd never been to a Planet Fitness before. Some chick walks out of the bathroom, and I'm like ducking. You should see me. I was on the ground, like fire crawling out of that motherfucker. I thought I was in the wrong room. No,
Yeah.
it's a communal fucking dressing area. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
It's
Okay, what the fuck? I'm like covering my eyes, trying to get out of that room, dude. I'm like,
Yeah.
this is not happening. Okay, like no.
well, like what
dude.
you said earlier about women. A woman walks into a guy's locker room. There's these Joann's fabric stores. They've got these. They changed some of the bathrooms because the new law, right? So I was in there with my wife that day,
Haven't heard
and
Joann's
they had
forever, dude.
yeah, I know, right?
So
So-
okay, yeah.
Here in the Bloomington Normal area, the newer ones, they have the new bathroom law where you got to make something unicorn friendly or whatever. They have a women's bathroom, and then they have a either or with just the toilet and the sink.
No.
But I was like, "Where's the dude bathroom? Just
Yeah.
a dude. It's just like a single toilet and."
So
thing.
y'all are gonna have to deal with
So
it.
there's a women's separate one,
We-
and then there's a
we
weird
don't.
both. I'm like,
Yeah, we
okay,
we don't have to, but y'all are gonna have to,
yeah.
whether you like it or not.
You don't have to deal with the weirdos, just us. It's fine.
Mhm.
I mean,
This shit crazy as hell.
but, okay, but also let's be real about this. Okay, let's be honest. We got 5 guys on the planet. We can be real. Okay, guys don't give a fuck. We're not gonna bitch. We're not gonna. Okay, I'm sorry. Let me be clear on this.
It was still a single bathroom, but
baby
still the point stands, yeah.
boymen will whine and complain about every little thing. Okay, they'll stub their toe or whatever, and they'll bitch about it. But men, dude, generally speaking, we just don't complain. We'll point something out when it's really wrong, but something like that, we're just gonna shake it off. It's not a big deal. It's not whatever. Okay.
I think I
No
had
offense-
more of an issue. It was like it was a multi-use bathroom, but it was a single lock-in, closed bathroom. So
yeah.
it's just a multi-use, whatever. It's
but
to appease the
how
law
many men are gonna go?
locally.
But how
Right.
many men are gonna go in there and say something? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
they're just
'cause
not.
it's
Dude.
that minimum aspect
But-
of I need to
but
do
one-
what the law says.
But one
So-
Karen
Yeah.
Karen goes into a Starbucks and she doesn't get her soy milk and her fucking latte, and the entire internet is gonna fucking know that bitch is unhappy. Okay, she'll have 100,000 fucking likes on her video in a week because she didn't get fucking
Yeah.
soy milk and her goddamn cinnamon frappe.
And
Okay,
if she was white and good looking, it would be even more likes.
I mean, dude,
Yeah.
I don't. You know what though? Honestly, I don't know because it used to be that way, but now, if you're on OnlyFans,
You get
Or
the
if you-
hungry hippos, get the likes.
yeah,
too.
yeah, or if you've got an Instagram and you've got a following,
It's the
don't matter
attention.
what
That's all they crave.
yeah, it doesn't matter what you look like anymore. I mean, look at the gym girls that go in there specifically to set their phone up. They're not wearing underwear. They're wearing the yoga pants that literally spreads their ass open. Okay, it doesn't. It's not like a typical yoga
Yeah.
pants. They're made specifically to
Yeah,
spread their
it's like
ass
that.
open.
It's the butt lifting ones
Yeah,
that show every
okay,
detail.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah.
like you got a chick bent over doggy style. That's what it looks like. All right. And
Yeah.
they're doing these like sexual movements on camera, trying to get guys to look at them.
Yeah,
so they
and
can
then
call
they
them feral
yell.
online.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. It doesn't even matter anymore, like what the chick looks like or whether she's white or black. I really don't think that's an issue anymore when it comes to like
Well,
them
that's
just
tough.
complaining. Yeah, just complaining. Like they just get clicks. It's clickbait. Oh my God, this guy looked at me today in the gym for like 0.7 seconds. He made me feel like such a piece of meat. Now I have to go underwearless in my yoga pants in the grocery store in front of children. It's like,
Yeah.
I mean, seriously,
insane.
dude.
I
Sometimes.
I remember when my daughter was younger and shorter shorts became a thing, and she was just at that age where it was, so okay to wear shorter shorts. And I never liked the really short shorts. I would never buy those for
Daisy
her.
Dukes. You didn't wear Daisy
Yeah,
Dukes?
she no, but when they were out and she wanted them because all her friends had them or whatever else, but I did not buy those. But what I did buy for my daughter, we went to visit my dad and my stepmom where they were, and my stepmom turned around, took one look at what my daughter was wearing, and said, "Do you want to get raped?" I said, I beg your pardon. First of all, I go out of the way to make sure she's not wearing, worse than this, and what she's wearing is fine. And quite frankly, it's also up to a man to control himself.
Well, that's what makes.
Now I want to add something to that.
That's the difference between a psychopath and a man.
Yeah, but she was with a group
sex
of
offender.
She was
just a guy that doesn't have discipline.
But she was with a group of us. What that was like that old mentality that it's her fault because she dressed that way. Because she wore a skirt. That was the old mentality. It was automatically her fault.
Right.
She had something to do with it.
Chaotic. That is absolutely correct, dude. I know you're not talking. But
I was just about to say that.
Exactly. Yep.
I mean, we'll look at Red Pill. Look at Red Pill and Passport Bros. They're already doing it. It's already happening. I mean, what's the stat? Guys between the ages of 18 and 30 are either 33% of them are either a virgin or have never touched a woman.
Do you really?
And then there's another stat: 63% of the remaining men have either. These are single men. Okay, men that aren't married. Okay, they've either refused to be in a relationship. Okay, and they've become celibate. It's insane, dude. It's like, what the hell's going on? You know,
chaotic truth, and you do that because of what she might say happened.
Oh, absolutely. I've been listening to you guys, and the older I've gotten, the more I realize that society, we've gone down a very, very tragic rabbit hole. For example, there was a woman that went viral about 2 years ago. I did a video about her. She was at the gym. She was working out really fucking stupid. Like, she's dressed half naked. And then people are looking at her and she said, "What? You have a problem looking at me?" Oh. And I don't know if anybody saw this video. And I did a video on it because I've been in situations where women are dressed scantily clad, drunk, acting a fool. And then when men are looking in front of everybody, they'll say, "What? Why are you looking at me? What? You can't look anywhere else." And it's like she's doing it for attention. Then she's also doing it to pretty much be a victim, essentially. So the older I've gotten, I literally avoid, like if it's an elevator and a woman happens to get on, if she's not really an older woman, I'll walk right off.
It's pretty sad. We get to the point where we can't trust anybody.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Because like I said, society. Because like one thing about liberals, and I said this earlier when I was blacking out, when I was a little bit tipsier. Liberals, their brains don't work right and function right, so they don't operate on law and order. They don't operate on investigations and trials. So a liberal can accuse you of something, a liberal female, and it could be a witch hunt towards you. So I avoid a lot of times even speaking to females alone that I don't even know. Like just today, I went to go get some breakfast, and I noticed two girls, younger females, and maybe it was just my imagination, but it was like they were trying to, get my attention at this little breakfast spot. It was like a little vestibule, and I was on my phone, and like they were standing next to me, and I was just completely ignoring them. Now, mind you, it's probably because I look younger. I have no idea, but like a younger dude would have been like, "Yo, what's up, baby? You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?" So just so that they could go somewhere and say, "Yeah, them niggas still hollering at us." I completely ignored them. I just don't do it. I don't speak. I don't even speak at all. If you're not, like
I'm with you, dude. I'm with you 100%.
Yeah,
100%.
And MRN, remember, I did a show on this like a long time ago. I even said that when I go to Walmart, which is rare, I don't go to checkout aisles with younger Black females, especially because I'm not going to give you the opportunity to say
women. Period. Like unless it's an old lady,
old Black lady, white lady, I'm gonna go to it. But if it hell no.
But no, young women, no, dude. I don't look at them. I don't make the trick is not to make eye contact. Just don't make eye contact. I know that sounds.
Y'all want to hear something funny? I haven't dated a woman in the past 20 years unless she was all over me.
Yeah. Exactly. I know exactly what you're
All
talking
over me,
about. Yep.
uncontrolled. I will not even
Yeah.
fuck with you.
Dude.
Yep.
Wait. Say that again. I didn't get to hear him. I didn't hear him.
Yeah, go ahead.
Reese,
said-
Reese, what was that again?
In the last
What he
20
talking about.
years.
Yeah.
In the last 20
Yeah,
years. Like, you'll see me flirt with damn near every female YouTuber I'm on the panel with. But in real life,
Yep.
I won't even fuck with a woman unless she is all
You gotta-
over.
yeah,
Hey,
all over.
hey,
all over,
Reese.
yeah.
Now, Reese,
Uncontrollable.
Oh, my fault, Aaron. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
I wanted Reese expound on what you mean by that for the listening audience.
Yeah.
That means that she had to say something to me first, call me, come to my house out of her idea,
Paper
Yup.
trail.
and literally
Yes.
pull
Yes.
my dick out of my pants.
Yup.
No warming up, kissing on the neck, nothing. If you don't go for my dick, nothing will happen, and you will go home empty-handed. Period.
Hey,
I won't
Reese.
even give him a
He was
smile.
corny.
I won't even
It-
smile at him, dude.
Reese, Reese, you know, I got married, but it took me a long time.
Ah!
Reese, you see the screen?
I swear to you, yo.
Snowflake is trying to Riz, bro. She's trying to Riz. Man.
She don't know who she playing with. She will get fucked.
Hey, Reese, it took me. Hey, Reese,
Hey, he's from Philadelphia. They do it dirty down there. You better realize that, okay?
Uh-oh.
hey, Reese,
Just let you know.
Reese, it took me until I was like in my early 30s to realize that I don't listen. If I get invited somewhere, like when I was in my early 30s and women were drunk, like especially black chicks,
Yeah.
I walk right the fuck
Right back out.
No,
Yeah,
hell
yeah,
no.
yeah.
No, yeah, because I'm telling you, man,
Well, your
a
standards
liberal
change.
woman will weaponize sexuality
Oh
against
yeah,
you.
dude.
Mhm.
Hell.
Man.
No,
Every
hell,
chance they get. Yep.
Yeah.
nah.
And
If you show,
and
if
that's
you
sad
show a
to
little
say, but
interest, they'll
you know.
tell the neighborhood that you're stalking them. Yo.
Yeah.
I've seen women do it.
Yeah.
I've seen them do it.
Yeah,
Reese,
y'all,
did you ever hear that story about that bartender I got into it one time with? I didn't get into it with her one time. Man, I had to be like 25, 26, man. I was going to this bar. It was a small little hood bar, black girl working in there. I'm thinking, you know, just me and her in there. It was a cook. It was a small bar. After work, we're having a good time, tipping her and buying drinks, yada, yada, yada. I come back the next week. This nigga bitch, she's outside with 5 niggas, hood niggas. I walked past her. She said, "Oh, that's the nigga that was harassing me." I was like, "You bitch!" I'm like, why was she? And I'm thinking in my head, why would she lie like that? I'm telling you, man. Hell, no.
Drama is a drug too, dog.
Drama.
is a
That's
drug.
what it is, man.
Okay, here's show my
That's
age a
what
little
it
bit.
is.
But you guys remember that book we read in high school? What was it called? Sliders or Striders? It was a story about the kids getting into the fight. You know? Oh my god, I'm forgetting. It's got Pony Boy. You know, it's about the basically growing up in the hood type situation. But it was white guys, black guys, Mexicans, everything. And
Missed that one.
all right,
West Side?
no, it wasn't West Side. It wasn't Pony Boy was the main character.
Nope.
Anyways, all right. So at the end of the book, towards the end of the book, before Pony Boy has the shit kicked out of him, this white guy who hasn't been involved in the story the entire time saves a black girl because she's getting the shit beat out of her, and he saves her. He protects her, keeps her from getting raped, and he takes her home, and takes her and drops her off in the ghetto. And as he's dropping her off, you know, he says, "Hey, you know, I'm really sorry what happened." And she gets out of the truck, and she turns to all of her brothers and all of her cousins, all her family there, and she and they ask her, "Who did this? Who did this?" And she just turns to the white guy and goes, "He did." All right. So, like, look, and that was written. I think that was written in the '60s, right?
Mhm.
Okay. So, okay. And this is that. Okay. Don't come at me because I'm saying this about a woman. I'm just trying to generalize here. Okay. All right. But
Generalizations are dangerous, sir.
they are general. But we live in a world of generality, so we have to. But
I'm in the then I've been born in the wrong.
but
Wrong
in
time.
the aspect of dating right now, just in the world of dating right now, okay, women have life on super easy mode. It's like playing super easy mode in a video game. It's just that simple. Okay, you could take an ugly fat chick, put her naked in the middle of the road with a sign that says "free pussy," and someone will come and fuck her. It's just that simple. Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
but a guy could be a 9 out of 10. He could have a great job, a great car, and he's going to be lucky to walk out with a 5. That's just reality. Okay? But that same 5 can go walk in a bikini and get on a yacht without doing anything. without having any clout whatsoever. That's just the reality that we live in. All right.
Well,
So-
I don't like being a female in this world, or
I
don't want to
okay,
be.
okay.
I mean, no, I don't like being a female in that kind of world. I would not be. I would not want to.
That's
go
the
back
world we
and-
live in. That's
Yeah,
the
but
world
that-
we
There's
live
never
in.
been a better time in history to be a woman than right
Yeah.
now.
No,
Never,
no, I
never,
don't want to. I
ever,
don't want to.
ever.
I don't want. No, I don't want to be a single woman
Well, okay.
that acts like that.
Let's add
No,
on to that statement. Though.
I was
Okay.
born in the wrong century. If that is the way.
Okay. There's never been a better time to live in history to be a woman if you don't want to have discipline. Okay.
Well, I
Because
got
the women
sorry.
today just don't have any discipline. It's one of the biggest problems.
Mhm.
And again, I'm talking about generalities. If women in the chat are coming after right now and I'm a sexist pig, I'm sorry. I'm just stating it like it is. Okay.
But if their mothers taught them to have discipline, and their
or their
fathers taught them
fathers.
to have
Remember,
my
fathers
father.
keep daughters off the
Yes.
poles. Okay.
Yes,
Fathers keep daughters off the poles.
Well,
That's the way it works.
fathers also make sure they're end up making sure their daughter, if their father does his job, their daughter marries somebody like their father.
Yes. And that saying that now is a bad thing to say.
Well,
Yeah.
If you say that now, you're like a woman would call you, what is it, a grape apologist or something? They would say you're a part of the patrarchy and you're against all women if you said that.
Yeah,
Which is
it's
crazy.
It's an extreme feminist view. Like, I don't need
Yeah.
no man.
I don't
Okay.
know, man. Or hashtag kill all men. Who thought of that?
Yeah.
Okay.
The great reset is coming. I'm telling you.
If I were
Nobody
walking
loves
around with a
anybody.
sign, all right, imagine me walking around downtown Austin with a sign that said hashtag kill all fucking women, dude. Yeah, with the fucking this symbol walking
Well,
up right here. Dude,
You
what
would
do you
have
think
to
would happen?
have several piercings in your face and like colored hair. Be
And a
real
dress.
fat, you got to be. When you think about it, those women that
If you
say
look like
that,
me,
Those
you gonna
rainbow
get a
Why do they all
flags.
look
Right.
the same, dude? Why do they?
Yeah.
It looks like they came out of a factory line.
The
man.
rainbow flag is not just a
Dude.
trans pride
Okay,
flag.
okay,
it's like,
okay.
you
Wait,
look
wait,
like
wait, wait.
Chucky when he got burned by all that stuff in Child's Play 2. Like just
Okay, wait
Oh
a second
yeah,
now.
yeah.
But that's a little bit of a generality too, though. I am a 53-year-old woman with 14 tattoos, 13 piercings, and I'm not some 200.
oh no, you don't look
pound-
you don't look like what we talking about.
No.
Okay, but
no, you're
but
not even
that's-
close. You're modest compared to these chicks.
Yeah.
You got the glasses,
Yeah.
but you ain't got everything else.
Yeah.
dude, my glasses, what's with my
I'm digging those
glasses?
19
I get-
Neon blue hair. Yeah.
Oh,
I
I-
tell you, a
but
lot of the woke
Yeah.
chicks
I'm
wear
getting
glasses
some,
like that.
yeah,
They're usually
I-
accompanied by a lumberjack
Okay.
shirt. And
Hey,
Yeah.
can
No.
you guys help me out with something? I'm kind of confused on something that happened recently, like a hot topic, and because I don't watch the news, I stay away from it because it's just trash. So the boxer that was from Italia, that was a man, right?
yes, sir.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're
then
trying to
why
make
why is
excuses.
there an entire group of people saying it wasn't a man?
They're
My
trying to
husband-
excuse it. There's an
My-
XY
No.
chromosomes. I don't know what they're
I'm not
supposed
saying
to
that. I'm not
look
saying
at.
that. I'm not saying that. There are people actually
Yes,
trying to
yes.
say
Yeah.
that it was a biological.
Because
woman.
scientifically, they have this bullshit test that
that they use
measures the amount of
Like-
which chromosome you have, and if you don't
Yeah.
meet a certain amount,
testosterone.
then you're not.
So they're
a
not
man.
saying it was
Yeah.
born with a vagina. They're saying
Some are trying
that
to make
because
that
of
argument,
this
but
Yeah, that's what
test-
Ty's right. Yeah,
Exactly.
they tried to make that a case that yes, she's got everything and just
It's
didn't have
fucking
enough
crazy,
or
dog.
whatever. Yeah. They can argue all they want, but that is a dude.
it's a
he beat
man.
her in 32 seconds, right?
46.
32 seconds.
That is a dude.
She
just
quit
went in
after
there-
2 jabs, dog. She
Yeah,
said she
yeah.
never felt that kind of power ever before.
Yeah. So
Because that's a dude hitting a
And this is a
woman.
champion
That's
that said
why-
this.
Yeah.
yeah,
Right.
and,
Can I
and-
go out
and
into the
you've been
street
fighting women.
and just start hitting women? Can I do that now? Can I just
I wouldn't
Well,
advise
put a dress
that. I'm
on,
not
yeah.
legally obligated to advise you to do that, but yeah, you want to go ahead? Sure.
Hey, listen, I walk around with a wig, yo, and the next woman that mouths off to me, I'm going to put that wig on and knock her
Hey,
head off.
dude, equal rights and equal lefts, bro.
Yes, equity.
man.
In the name of equity, you are legally, whatever you want to be.
Any
Today-
application I fill
today
out
and
here,
tomorrow.
I'm putting transgender on there. I don't
Yeah.
give a fuck.
Hey,
I
look.
want all
Okay.
the
Yeah.
perks.
All right,
Whatever
you want, do you want to know what feminism gets you? Honestly, guys, you know what feminism gets you?
Trouble.
It gets you that woman, and this happened in Philadelphia, so you're gonna know what I'm talking about.
My house.
Unfortunately, that woman on the subway that had 30 people filming her while
Yeah.
one guy was doing what he was doing in that
Yep.
horrible act,
Yep.
and not a single man stepped forward because God forbid if a man defends a woman because she can't defend herself. Okay, but 30 people filmed a woman like some Twilight fucking show getting raped live, and not a single one of them were charged. And if I'm not mistaken, that guy is still at large.
30 years ago, that guy would have been beaten beyond.
He'd have been dead. He'd have been dead.
minced meat. He would have been
Dude.
ground beef, yo.
Dude,
Ground
he wouldn't have made it off the goddamn fucking subcar. He'd have been dead.
Fuck.
In Philadelphia,
There-
he'd have
yeah.
been dead.
What?
Dude,
There
he'd been
wasn't
dead.
there some argument too that because the country where he's from, like they wouldn't allow trans fighters or whatever. So like this is not a dude because they wouldn't have allowed transgenders in their culture. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
They're trying to come up with all kind of
All
things
kinds
to try
of
to
shit,
defend
dude.
that
Yeah.
because
You know-
what,
Yeah.
it is,
you know
what it is that the whole deal with the mockery of the Christianity and everything like that sets some stuff off. The Olympics has the lowest ratings they've ever had,
yeah,
and it sets some things off. So now they see that a lot of people are catching on to the wokeism that's in it. So you have the Christianity stuff that happened, which put them on blast big time. And now you have it to where now there's this man in there that punched this woman in her face hard, and she quit. And you can just tell all her dreams are crushed. The way she dropped down to her knees, her dad died like a few days before that, whatever like that. All that got taken away from her because they allowed it in there. So it's put a target on them. So now they have to try to come up with something saying, well, you know, which this is true. There are some women that can have excess testosterone, but not to the extent to where this a dude. It's a man.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a flat out.
It's a man.
Man.
It's a man that
Longer
can't sit
arm
there.
length, more
It's-
muscle.
It's a guy. And so
Is he
what it is,
taking the
they're just
hormones or
trying to
whatever?
they're trying to cover up and backtrack, so to speak, to try to say, well, they were always born a woman. Is just they can't even really explain. It's like, okay, well, look, just pull the pants down. Let us see.
Some wasn't
Like-
quite right.
yeah.
Well, no,
Wasn't
that's not
there-
a penis. That's just
yeah.
an elongated
Yeah.
clitoris.
Wasn't
That's what
there a-
that is.
Yeah,
was-
yeah.
Yeah.
Hermaphrodite.
Nah.
Yeah. If
Hey,
I
do
were
y'all
to
know
take
that this
my-
was the whole motive of the Obama administration to do this to the world?
He started
Yeah.
it all.
He started it
He
all, doing the
created
bathroom
cancer.
shit. And people forget that. He's the first one. Remember what he tried to do? He tried to just force it. He was like, okay, everyone can go in whatever bathroom now. I'm just going to make it a law. And everyone was like, no, we ain't doing that
Yeah.
shit.
Yeah.
Okay? Everyone forgets that.
Mhm.
Okay? He's the original border czar. Sorry, motherfuckers. That was him. Okay? He's the one that implemented the fucking laws.
He
Sorry,
built the
guys.
cages, dog.
Yeah.
He built
Yeah.
the cages.
Yeah.
He literally had the fucking
Yeah.
cages built.
It's insane, man.
Dude,
Yeah.
how about this? How about the people? Because it's happening right now. Okay, people are forgetting that Kamala and Biden were going like this in the primaries.
War.
First, dude, it was
War.
like war, dude. Like he was talking so much shit about that fucking woman,
Oh my
and she was
God.
talking so much shit about him.
Called him
Dude,
racist and everything.
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was
Just
one of
forget about
those
it.
little girls on that
Eh.
bus.
ain't no big deal. That's why.
It doesn't
That's
matter.
why I don't buy that shit. And again, okay, I'm not saying I'm the hugest advocate for Trump, all right, but at the same time, at least I know he loves this country. I
What
mean,
about
you know?
what about
like-
Robert F. Kennedy Jr.?
I mean-
I don't mean his odds. I'm not talking about his
Besides
odds.
the fact that he's pro-choice, I really like the guy. Seriously.
He's
Besides
I
the
don't
kind
fact
of,
give
that
a
he's
fuck about
pro-choice,
anything but $2 gas. That's all that
Yeah.
matters.
yeah.
The world.
He's
I mean,
kind of a
I mean,
climate
that's
Nazi and all that, but
Yeah, I mean, but I mean, he's
Yeah.
he's one of those climate guys too, a little bit, but not anywhere near as bad as some of these other people. I mean, dude,
Yeah,
Biden closed down 3 of the biggest pipelines his first 17 days, and
Yeah.
we're wondering why everything went up. It's like,
yeah. Why is
Well,
everything
dude, you
so
shut-
expensive? Well, that's
Yeah,
because
you-
corporate greed. No, it's not. It's
Yeah.
because we stopped producing the things that make it cheaper.
yeah, just to show everybody to remember, to give you guys a little refresher course of what happened in the first 17 days of office of our illustrious leader. He closed down 3 of the largest pipelines in the country, one of them being the
Pennsylvania.
largest. Okay. Then
Yep.
the very next day after he closed the last one, he started making deals with Russia to buy oil.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Make
yes.
it make sense.
Okay.
And-
just
and
so,
to-
yeah.
and to
just
stop
so
the-
everybody remembers that.
Yeah. And
Yep.
to allow the Germans
Crazy,
to sell
man.
it to him, and it was fine.
And how many
Dude,
people actually remember that are voting now? Or that
Probably
it's
none.
not bad. It's
Probably
not bad
none.
enough yet.
Yeah, no, it's not.
Oh,
They'll turn a
yeah,
blind
yeah.
eye to it because they it's all about them making. See, the thing is, it's all about focus. If they can
Yep.
just keep them focused on what Trump
Mandy, you're right.
is,
You're right,
as
Mandy.
far as his
Yep.
attitude and go, as far as him being, he's mean, mean tweets, bad man. As long as they keep, he's a convicted felon. As long as they can keep their focus on that and not show them anything of the past and the truth of what these people did, then they can run with it. And then
Well-
you also have a group of people that refuse to see that as well. They know it's there. They just refuse to see it because they don't like him so much and they don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't. It's one of those deals where Are you in this conversation to try to prove that you're right? Or are you legitimately in the conversation to listen to see if it might be something that you don't know? And most people on that side, they're not trying to listen to the truth. They just don't care.
Right.
Blah, blah, blah. I don't care. I'm not voting for him no matter what. He's bad. He's bad. He called Roe down bad. He said grab him by the pee. Even though Kamala Harris did grab a bunch of peas called penises.
But he didn't actually say grab him by the pee, though. Hey, Modern, real quick, can you highlight what Mr. K just fucking said? Not the we sell oil that we drill,
It's
but
we cannot find
the
out.
highest
Can
drilling.
you highlight that real quick,
Yeah.
please?
I have no idea who is it again.
Mr. K. Bro,
We cannot
scroll
refine
up.
the oil.
Yeah,
Yeah,
oil
scroll up.
drilling is the highest it's ever been. Is that what you
Yeah.
want to talk about?
No. Scroll up. It's,
Okay.
it's
Yeah.
no.
We can't
He
we
says-
can't refine high.
Yeah, it says we
the
cannot
oil.
refine the oil that we drill. You see that right there? It's just a little bit up.
Well, they're not
So
improving the refineries.
Okay,
That's
okay.
one problem.
Well,
JD
and when
Vance
they-
called Trump Hitler. Wow. Okay. Well,
Wait,
that's-
I'm trying to figure out where is it?
It's about
Yep.
10 up. It's about 10
Yeah,
up.
there
There it
you
is
go.
right there.
There.
Okay. So let's just address this real quick. I'll be as fast as I possibly can. We get back to our discussion. Okay. Look, we have been refining our own oil for decades. And just to bring a refresher course, because everybody just seems to have a 4-year brain gap. Trump had us independently using our own fossil fuels. We didn't have to use any other countries. And the gas was the cheapest that it ever was, Mr. K. Ever. But obviously, inflation included. Okay.
Well, we're-
Since the 80s, dog. Since the late
Since the
80s.
80s, okay? All right. And we were self-sufficient with our own oil, man. Dude,
Do we
Make it
refine
make
it?
sense.
Refine it here? Do we
Like-
refine it here?
yeah. I
Do we
mean,
well, yeah, duh. Yes,
So-
we do.
all right. So,
Yeah.
anyways, to kind of piggyback on what Modern said, like there is a bubble, and I do believe in this bubble. Like, to give you a perfect example, if you go to Austin right now, which is a very blue city, if they call it mini San Francisco, just in case you're wondering.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. If you were to sit in a house and watch the news, or watch a television show, or watch a movie, like Sunday Night Movie, okay, there will be no Republican commercials for a certain period of time,
Oh, I
and they
haven't
will
been-
and they will produce commercials that say things like, Republicans want to take away women's rights to their bodies. Republicans wants to ban
All day
all
long.
abortion. It'll say a bunch of stuff that's a lie, that's not the truth. Okay, and then that's what they're seeing. So, and I'm not trying to defend them in any way, shape, or fashion. I'm not trying to defend the far left. That's not what I'm saying here. But what I am saying is that if you watch this, there's a technical term for it that I can't remember right now. All right, but if you watch this over and over and over and over and over again, it eventually stops being ridiculous, and you start believing stuff
You
that's not
tell
true.
you tell a lie enough times,
It will become the truth. Look at the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. Perfect fucking example.
Oh
If I
my
were to-
God.
If I were to ask everyone on the panel right now, okay, to name or at least tell me who did he shoot? Does
White-
anybody know? Do you really
three white
know?
men.
Or, sorry, Kyle. Who did Kyle shoot?
3 white men.
Does everybody agree on that?
That was after he got it kicked in the fucking face.
Okay, I know.
Well,
Yeah, I know. But what I'm asking is, I'm not asking for if he was justified. That's what I'm saying. But for the first 3 weeks after it happened, they said he killed 3 black men.
Yes, they did.
Yo,
Specifically. They said he killed 3 black men that were a part of Black Lives Matter, and that he was a racist, and that he was a trained military individual that went there specifically hunting. They used the fucking word hunting black men.
Yep.
God.
Yes.
Okay? So if you see that for 3 weeks straight, and you don't
believe
ever
that?
bother looking at something, I mean, dude, most people still trust CNN. I know it had Don Lemon and
Well-
the little white gay guy, but they still trust CNN. Okay? They
Yeah.
still trust ABC. They still trust MSNBC.
Yo, that's why I said what I said earlier. This is the worst time in history to be white. Y'all are
Yeah.
fucked.
Dude,
Y'all are fucked.
everything we do is under a microscope. Everything we do is under a microscope. Okay?
The guy
Look
on the
at
subway was saving people's lives, and he's doing
Yes!
time now.
Yes, he literally saved people's lives. That dude was walking around screaming, "I am going to murder you," and he had
Yo.
13 witnesses, and they were still trying to put him in fucking prison.
Yep.
And he's a Marine.
And he's a murderer.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh,
All
and
right,
then
man.
you had, and you
Guys,
had
it's been a
recently.
pleasure. I'm
listen-
signing off. So
All right.
thanks for letting me hang out, Ty.
Yes,
What's
sir.
up, man?
Later, bro.
Appreciate you guys. See ya.
Yeah, man. Thanks, man.
Hey, listen, you just recently had a white dude that really set y'all back 1,000 years.
Uh-oh.
And this piece of shit shot a black woman in the face. Dumb
Uh-oh.
motherfucker. Y'all really fucked now.
What happened? I don't know this story.
Oh,
I didn't hear about this.
Oh, where
That's
was
all
that?
we've been talking about over here in our space.
What did this happen in Philadelphia?
No, this ain't no
No,
woke bullshit either. This
this
dude
happened
really
down the
shouldn't
street
shot
from where
the
I.
chick.
This happened down. When I say down the street, I'm talking about like in the same state. It happened in Springfield.
So some white dude just walked up to a
Springfield?
black
No.
lady and shot her in the face.
He
No.
murdered her in cold blood, yo. He was in her house for some reason, and
Uh-oh.
he shot her in the face 3 times.
Once.
Once.
Yeah.
I got the story wrong.
Well, yeah, and I caught a lot of flack on that because people don't want the truth on that. I showed the video. I sit on the Public Safety Commission and Relations Board, so we get a lot of stuff like this and make decisions on things. I got the video from when that all went down, and a lot of people, it's the same thing what y'all just got done talking about, the Kyle Rittenhouse thing. People roll with the story that the woman never threw the water at the cop and everything like that. Everybody roll with, look at these cops killing black people. I showed the video from the beginning to the end with both police officers' body cam and let people make the decision. People still got pissed off when they seen the truth.
About
Those
which
cops
one?
were
You know why,
very
though?
nice to that woman. They were so nice to her. They even cared about her up to the extent of asking if she needed something for mental health.
Yep.
Da.
Yep.
People showed a video of that woman putting the pot on the stove.
Yep.
When she grabbed it and the cop said,
Drop
he
that.
pulled his gun out. She said,
Yeah.
okay, I'm sorry. She dropped down. That's all people saw. And then they heard the gunshot go off. They didn't see the rest of the video where the woman actually did grab the pot and throw the
Yep.
water at the cop.
Yeah,
I
they
still
know.
said to
They
myself,
conveniently
it was
cut that part
completely
out.
unjustifiable. I mean, to me, he wasn't close enough to where that water was going to reach him and do any damage to him. But the shooter in the face, I said that was completely unjustifiable. Now, to try to call that a racist, crazy thing like
Yo,
that,
Why does it gotta
that's
be
where it got
racist,
me, because that's the
man?
thing. They're trying to make this woman the new George Floyd. She
Yeah.
didn't do anything wrong until she grabbed that pot of water while she was squatted down and tried to throw it at him, but it still did not constitute them to shoot that one. They could have just
But-
backed up, seen that
but
it was
were
nothing
they-
but a pot of water. The cop even
were-
yelled at her, drop the pot, drop the. Can you imagine being a masculine cop and you telling a woman, not a knife, not a bat, not a Molotov, but you telling her, drop the pot? A pot? Like,
Did
that's
it have-
really a threat to you?
And,
A pot?
Did
and
it have
she's in,
boiling water in it though?
Not only that, before
and
he
she's in
did it,
the she's in the
before he did
kitchen.
it, she
She's
said,
in the
I don't-
kitchen.
she said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. He
Yes,
said,
she
you better,
did.
he said, you better effing not. And then dude said, I'll shoot you in your effing face. And I mean, it was bad. I
Did
got
it
the
have
video.
boiling water in it? Was it
And
actually?
he was
boiling?
saying, boy, after he shot her, yo, the dude was about to go get a first aid kit. He was like,
And
no,
he told
that
him
was
not
bad
to.
shot.
Yeah, that he ate himself.
That
out.
dude
well,
was cold,
All right,
man.
all right, all
Yeah.
right, back up. Okay, so first off, were the police in the house legally or illegally?
She called him, didn't she?
Yeah, she called them
Oh,
because
okay,
she had
okay. Okay.
She called them because she
So-
said that there was somebody around her house. So when they got there, they did investigation. They walked around the whole block, in fact, and went through backyards and everything. When they
Okay,
came back
okay.
to her, they asked her about a car that was in her driveway. They asked her if the car was hers. She told them at first. She said no. And then they came back later just asking her a few more questions before they left. They were like, are you okay? Are you good? And she was just
Right.
like, you're just all over the place. And then the cop actually said to her, are you okay mentally?
Mhm.
And she was like, I don't know. I gotta. And so whatever she said to them, they were just making sure that she was safe. And what I mean by that, it was almost like they were talking to her in a way like, if there's anybody in your house, blink twice, like type deal. They were just talking
Yeah.
to her.
Yeah.
And so what they did, they went inside her house, they looked in the rooms and everything, man. They were being
Okay.
really pleasant and nice to her.
All right.
And I don't know what set this cop off when that woman said,
He just changed.
he flipped. I mean, he did. When she said, I
So-
rebuke you in the name of Jesus, he was like, you better effing not. He said, no, he said, what you say? She said, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. He said, you better effing not. I'll shoot you in your effing face.
but she was about to throw boiling water on him, right?
But the way he reacted, right? If you would have watched that entire interaction, even when
Okay,
that
I'm
happened,
just-
you wouldn't
I'm-
expect him to act that way. It's calm.
No,
and
I'm,
it's
I'm
fast
just
as they
trying
were.
to. Oh, by the way,
The
can
way
you
they
guys
were
tell me what
treating her.
cooning means?
You would have never expected.
It's a new term. What does
Jesus
cooning
Christ.
mean? What does that mean?
Oh,
So-
come
Well,
on.
Dancing for the white
Somebody-
man.
Yeah.
Huh?
Tap dancing for the white man.
Well, the
Pandering
reason why
to the white man.
the reason why I wrote that is because, in my opinion, I disagree. I believe that those that particular cop was rude to her from the very beginning. He was very condescending. He could have easily, if he thought there was a threat walked back out the door that was literally a half a foot behind him.
Yeah, he didn't have to shoot her, but
He didn't have to
what-
tell her,
Yeah.
listen, whatever was boiling on the stove didn't have a goddamn thing to do with the investigation. He didn't have to go into the house.
Okay.
She wasn't the perpetrator. He had a history of problems in previous departments. He got kicked out of the military.
So he probably instigates shit a lot then. More likely.
Hell yeah. Yeah.
Okay,
He shot that
so-
woman.
Well, the only
Yeah,
reason why I ask is
Yeah.
if she did grab the pot and she was about to
She
go
grabbed
on
the
it.
pot, in my opinion, after this crazy maniac misinterpreted what she meant by "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." He already had the gun pointed at her. She probably grabbed the pot.
That
to protect
changes everything.
her
Yeah,
and
yeah. That
from getting
part
shot.
was left out. Lead with that next time. So he had the gun already pointed at her.
Sure did. You
Okay,
can watch
then
the
yeah,
video.
fuck him.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck him. Yeah. There's no. Yeah, she was. The way I'm viewing that now is if you're telling the exact truth about what really happened,
Yeah.
she was defending herself or trying to.
That's what I
Okay.
was thinking.
Yeah.
Hey,
like,
listen,
dude,
man.
dude.
Listen, man. I think that the George Floyd shit was bullshit. I think the Breonna Taylor shit was bullshit. But
George
I got
Floyd
my
shit was
dashiki
bullshit,
on
dude.
on this one. This
Yeah,
one,
let's
this
watch
cop
it.
was
Let's
out of
watch it.
line
Let's
and he
watch
should
it.
burn.
Yeah.
Let's watch it.
Yeah, MRM fooling for
Okay,
this.
yeah, fuck that.
Watch
Fuck that motherfucker. That's bullshit. He could have pulled a taser.
Now,
Shoot,
out of
no,
panic, the lady did.
No.
Why is
Look how
he still
far
saying
he
drop
is.
the pot right now?
Dude.
At the same time, listen to me,
Watch,
guys, because some of y'all gonna
watch.
get crazy. Y'all think I'm trying to justify this, and I'm not. Listen to
Watch.
me. He keep on yelling, drop the pot. People have made several videos saying, look what happened. When she dug down behind the counter, the reason why he shot is because he couldn't see her hands. He couldn't see what she was doing. That's why he shot her. Now, out of panic, the lady dug down and said, sorry, sorry, sorry. When he pulled that gun, now listen.
Better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot.
Damn, both
After
of them.
this,
Both of them.
he shoots her.
Okay,
Okay?
but
After
he pulled
that,
his gun first, though, man.
he
pulled his
shoots
gun
her.
first. We see him pull the gun first, though. Okay, I don't.
He's
see
being
her
charged
push
with
for a
murder
pot.
right now. Ducking down.
mean,
There's, and then she ducked down.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
So
I would duck
that's
down if someone
submissive.
was pointing a gun
Right
at me.
here.
Okay, yeah, all right. But
And let me show
but-
y'all what happened here.
Okay, one shot should have been enough, but yeah. All right. Well, go back
The
to when he
actual
draws
cop-
his weapon.
Fucking drop the fuck.
Okay,
That's
no
her
pot in her
ducking
hand. But there's
The
no pot
pot
in her
is
hand.
still right there on the stove, okay?
Yeah,
There's the
He's-
pot right there, still on the stove,
it's still on
okay?
the stove. Yeah. And she's
This is
what?
me talking to the
What-
people
What is that? What is that? 10 feet? Is that 10 feet? Right.
via
Well,
the phone. But those of you that are watching this and y'all can see me moving the whole screen up here,
That's the
she
pot.
ducks down.
Mm-hmm.
There goes the pot,
yeah.
correct?
Yep.
Yeah.
Now let's keep watching this.
Fucking drop
There it goes. She ducks down. There go the pot.
Okay.
the pot.
But watch this.
I don't see
Pay
any.
close attention. He's saying drop the pot. Look at her right here.
She's reaching up. Is she reaching back
Ladies and
up?
gentlemen, look at her right here. Those of you that are watching this,
Mm-hmm.
look at her right there.
Dude, that's rough, man. That's
gonna-
rough,
Better
bro.
fucking not. I swear. Pot.
Look at this.
Ooh,
Right
okay,
there.
Okay.
That's her throwing the
Yeah, he
hot
shoots
water
her, and she
Oh!
still gets out
from the
with
pot
her.
at the cops. Is right there.
Oh,
Okay. We just want to make all of us, those
Yeah,
of you that have
that's
eyes,
That's
we
it.
all can see that.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
That's the pot. She
That was
reached
her
up
arm.
and did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And
She reached up right there, ladies and gentlemen. I can just keep that as a still shot right there.
No,
if
no,
y'all want me to. I mean,
I got that, man. I got that.
that's
But
not
what I'm saying
justifying
is,
what he did.
is he pulled
That's a
his
recording
weapon
of
before
him.
she touched the
For
pot?
those of
Oh,
you
it
that
is?
are chiming
Okay.
in, looking at this, for everybody that says she never did throw the pot of hot water at the cops,
Yes,
that's
she
the
did.
proof right there.
Okay. But he still drew his weapon first, man,
Okay,
before she ever touched the
I just want to
pot.
make that clear. And then they
Women-
fired her. There's the pot of water again.
He still drew
That's
the
her
weapon
throwing
first.
it,
Go
and
all
she-
the way back to before he drew his weapon. She doesn't even have her hand on the pot when he draws his weapon. Okay, there's no hand on the pot. He pulls it quick. Okay, so you got to be quick on a draw. All right, but I don't see her hand on a pot.
And when she
pulls-
ducked down, he just shot her. Elopement, and they just want talking about her
What-
boiling water right there. Okay, if those of you that I'm watching this, I'm pointing at this screen with the people that's on the phone. That's her water right there on the stove right there. And those of you that are watching, here's talking about
saying
that.
it's premeditated attempted battery. Just chilling.
She said, "Where you
Away
going?"
from your hot steaming water.
He's look. See, this is what I'm saying. They're just jesting around. He said, she said, "Where are you going?" He said, "I'm getting away from your hot steaming water." This is crazy.
In the water?
Yeah.
Oh, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus.
That's it. He said, "I'm getting away from
she's
your hot
crazy,
steaming water." She said,
obviously.
"Oh yeah, well I rebuke you in the name of Jesus." That's it.
Huh?
Rebuke you in the name
You
of
better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
I have no idea
Okay.
Mhm.
why
See?
he said that to her.
He just turned up.
She
Like,
just
he
said, "I
went,
rebuke
he
you in the
went
name
from
of
0
Jesus."
to 100, dude. He went from
Yeah.
0 to 100.
Said what?
Like,
She said, "I rebuke you in the name of Jesus."
You better fucking not. I swear to God,
Why-
I'll fucking shoot you right in your
is there
fucking
there no
face.
video of his camera?
Drop the
We don't have his
fucking
camera yet.
fucking drop the
We don't,
Right
we don't have
there.
Hey,
that. I mean,
it's a tough one here, yo.
dude, that camera's not going to help him. Okay, that camera right there.
That
will not
no,
help
his
him.
his partner's camera.
Yeah, his partner's camera would help him. Where's
It's right
we
under
need to
his
see-
arm.
Yeah, we need to see.
Here's
his
the other
camera.
angle. Look at this angle right here. I want
Yeah.
y'all to see.
Yeah, if she,
This
if
is the
she's-
actual
yeah,
cop that shot
if
her
If she's
from his
actually-
body cam, but I want y'all to pay attention to this. Okay.
You better fucking not. I swear to God,
Now
I'll
watch
fucking
this.
shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking pot. The fuck.
Okay, all right.
That's
Two
her
hands.
ducking down.
Hey,
Yeah,
wait
with
a
her
The
second.
hands
Hold
pot
on.
is
Phil.
still right.
Hey, pause it real quick. I want to make an observation. She's wearing the damn gloves, guys. She's wearing those red gloves, ready to grab that hot pot. That's a key note to remember in this.
Oh, I didn't even
Okay.
see that.
She's wearing the red gloves, ready to pick up a fucking hot pot.
So that she walked in there to and
So
put 'em
she
on?
knew she was going to be picking up that hot pot. Like she didn't put them on when they walked in, right?
She might have been going to go back to her business. I don't think she did all that with the intent to burn the shit out of the cops. They weren't even beefing. They weren't even arguing.
Okay,
He
fair
told
enough.
he told her, if you watch the whole video, he actually told her to go in and remove the pot from the stove. You gotta watch
Yep.
the whole
Okay, okay.
He
Yeah,
told her to
you
go
gotta
take it off
He
so she
told
don't
her?
burn nothing down.
He
Yeah.
told her to remove the pot.
She
Okay.
was in the living room on the couch. She said this idiot told her to go into the kitchen with knives and everything to go remove the pot. He said, "Oh, you're gonna burn down the house." Now, in my opinion, it was almost like he baited her. So
Trying to make
yeah.
this look a little
Oh.
different on my screen up here, so I don't necessarily.
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah.
Was there any damage previous to your?
Now I want y'all to pay attention to something. They're right in water right there on the stove.
Previous, yeah, it
Okay,
was
what was the damage?
a dent, I believe.
But what about windows?
Oh, it was something that happened earlier.
Okay, perfect. What is your last name?
Uh,
Shouldn't have to think about your last name.
Uh-huh.
You're not in trouble. I just need to text.
nasty, nasty.
You have an ID that makes me. And I'll get out of your hair.
Her
She high?
ID to them because she identified her. People have so I mean a big.
Well, just get your ID.
Well, let's get your ID first, and then
One task at a time here.
Okay. Let me
She got her ID in a big ass bag.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around for your paperwork.
I don't know where my ID is.
you got that stack right there, maybe.
Yeah.
1 second.
Why is he pointing that way?
Now look, he just told that police officer check that.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
We don't need a fire alarm.
You hear it? He said we don't need a fire.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about her boiling water right there. Okay,
And
If
look- and
those
look-
of
and
you-
look,
I'm
she-
watching this.
look,
I'm pointing at
she
the screen
ain't-
with the people that's on the
She ain't
phone.
wearing the gloves right now.
That's
either.
her
Look,
water
she's got
right
her
there
phone in her
on
hand.
the stove right there. And
See?
those of you that are watching, me up there.
She's got her phone in her hand.
Okay.
She grabbed-
Where you going?
Huh?
Where you going?
She said, "Where
Why
you
you running
going?"
away?
Your hot steaming water.
He's look. See, this is what I'm saying. They're just jesting around. He said, she said, "Where you?" Now, this the part that just kind of had me just got. So when y'all saw that right there, when she got the water, she said, "Where you going?" Some people took that like she was about to just do it on throw them on them anyway. Like,
But she's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
12 feet away,
he was like,
man.
"Where you
That-
going?" He was like, "I'm
I
getting
mean-
away, so I'm getting burned."
I mean, I don't know the physics of this, but how far can boiling water travel outside of a pot?
Come on, man. It depends on how strong the throw
Yeah,
would
but
be.
this is an old lady. That's what I'm talking about. She's an old lady. So
So
how
skinny
far?
lady.
She was 36.
Yeah, she's 36.
She was a
She
skinny
looks like
thing.
she's old as fuck, man. Damn. All right.
She's a
This
skinny.
video's
She's a,
dark.
she's skinny thing, and then there's a counter full of shit right
Yeah,
there.
it's the counter
Okay.
right there. He
So
was behind the
realistically,
counter.
do you
That's what I'm
guys
saying.
think
It
that they
wouldn't
were
have,
in
it wouldn't have
danger
made it to him to do no significant damage. Not some
That-
water.
That's
Not
what I'm
from hot
saying,
water.
dude. Do we honestly think that that water would be able to do any type of damage to them?
No,
I mean,
not from that distance.
third
and it
third
wouldn't have made
degree
it to him.
burns on his arms. He wouldn't get it on his chest. He'd get it on his arms. Maybe
From
on
that
his face.
distance, he would have been able to do a little movement to get
Yeah,
out the
something,
way.
right?
Yeah,
Something,
was
right?
launched at him.
So okay. Now maybe he was warranted to draw, but why did he draw his gun and not his taser? I mean, it's not like she's an existential
That's a
threat.
good
here.
point too.
We're not talking
At
about a fucking thug with a goddamn fucking Glock pointed at these guys. We're talking
Yeah.
about a woman with fucking mittens on holding a pot of water.
A small woman.
Okay.
That's
Well,
what gets
and-
people.
yeah.
Like,
and using
Like-
the least amount of force necessary.
Is what they're supposed to do. That's
Yeah.
that's fine. He literally said he will shoot her in the fucking face. Those were his
And
words.
he did.
And he did. Okay. He shot multiple times actually, right? How many times did he fire? I counted
I think-
3.
I
So
can't-
how many times total do we know?
Yeah, he fired. I think he fired once, and his friend might have fired, but it got her once in the. I think he hit her. It went through her face and came out the back of her neck.
Okay, so but we don't know the total amount of bullets that were fired.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that part I don't know. You can hear it in
Okay.
the video. Let me
Okay.
see.
Yeah, it's like
Right.
I heard 3. I heard a pop and then I heard a pop pop.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking drop.
And he's drawing that weapon a lot.
Right there,
dude.
what they're showing gunshot. He are going to this shot
Right
go,
there. Right there.
gunshot go off on the stand. Drop the pot. Listen, to shot is because he panicked.
Shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Drop the fucking
Uh-huh. He said he'd shoot her in
After
in
this,
her fucking face before
he
she
should
told
be
him to
charged
drop
with
the
murder.
bomb.
It took
I'll show
30
you
to
this
what?
with the gunshot.
How many seconds? How many seconds did it take for them to shoot her?
This okay? Right there on the stove, okay? I'm trying to show y'all the entirety of the video without the. But those are just now chiming. That's her ducking down. The pot is still right there, guys. She said, "Where you going?" He said, "Where?" That's it. Jesus. I
You're
have.
killing me, Smalls. You're killing me,
You in the name of
Smalls.
Jesus. He said, "You better effing not listen."
You better fucking not. I swear to God, I'll fucking shoot you right in your fucking face.
Okay, I'm sorry.
drop the fucking drop.
Bro,
Please.
where the heck is it? We're gonna. Yeah, this what.
They both
Sure,
said.
grab your ID for me.
Okay.
Your ID. One task at a time. So let's do an ID, and then you can dig around.
Hold on, y'all.
You in the name of Jesus.
Huh?
You in the name
You
of
better
There we
fucking
go.
not.
There we go.
What?
There's some water.
Face.
I'm not gonna show this part again, but let me go back to. I think I can't show because YouTube. This might have got trimmed out, y'all. I think I might
I
have
got you.
flagged
I got
for
you. Yeah. We saw it for a second. It was like I counted. I think 3 from his partner and 1 from him. So they shot her 4 times. I'm guessing it's either 2 or 3 from the partner and 1 from him. They shot her 4 times, and obviously after the first shot, she wasn't moving, right? So, and obviously the partner is slow on the uptake. It took him an additional 7 seconds to
Reacting.
draw his weapon.
He's
So-
reactionary.
I mean, look, I hate when people try to guess what cops are able to do whenever they're not in the situation. And a guy that's been in combat, I promise you, it's not what you guys think it is. Okay, it doesn't go like in a Hollywood movie. There's not a bunch of dialogue. All right, and people don't just stop bleeding and miraculously survive from gunshot wounds. Okay, so if they shot her 4 times, then they were both scared shitless. Well, the other guy was. The other guy was scared. The guy that just shot once wasn't scared. That's the point that I'm trying to make. If the main guy shot her once in the face, he was perfectly calm. He understood the objective. He knew what he was doing. The other guy did not. If he shot her 3 additional times, he was scared out of his fucking ass. All right? The first guy was not. So, but then it still begs the question of why didn't he just pull a fucking taser? Like, if she's got water, okay, fine. Water's dangerous. It's going to give you 30-degree burns. It's going to suck. It could possibly scar you for life. Understood. But draw the fucking taser. That's what it's for.
But it's also assuming how long they don't know how long that the pot of water's been there. Just because it's on the water doesn't mean it's, you know, they were saying, it's
they
the
said it
fire.
was steaming. So for water to steam, it has to get to 212 degrees.
Yeah, but how
So-
how much water in whatever? She's
So-
So how does the shower steam?
yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
No,
Or
that's
something
different. That's
started.
that's different. That's different. Okay, a shower steams because of accumulation of moisture in the air. All right, a
And a
pot
small,
steams.
and a
A
small
pot
area.
steams coming out because it reaches
Mhm.
a certain temperature from the boiling of bubbles. There's a difference.
So I did the science on it. You know, it doesn't take to 212 for a pot to steam, right?
Well, as I just said, man, in a shower, showers will steam because of the humidity in the bathroom from a humidity effect. Okay.
Hey Mario, do me a favor. Chat GPT it real quick. See when
You put salt in it, you drop the temperature, and it
Yeah.
boils faster.
Say that again.
And it also depends on
Chat
the temperature.
GPT.
It also
give you
depends on the
any
temperature in our
different-
house too, man.
Chat GBT.
Chat GPT or
Oh, he was-
Gemini.
They tell you
Well,
everything.
do you know what causes steam? Hold on, first
Wait,
before you
what?
look it
I'm
up. Do
confused.
you know what
The
causes
steam
steam?
is it's evaporation. I mean, that's exactly what it is. I
Okay,
mean,
no, but
Oh, I
the
got you.
temperature is the variance. So unless we
Yeah.
know what the temperature was in the room, I'm talking about the temperature in the room.
Just look it up real quick. You'll be surprised you'll be surprised that what the science says on that one. I'm not denying what you're
So
saying.
wait,
but-
so are you saying that the argument is that you don't think that it was at a boiling point?
yeah, that's what I proved
just-
on my channel the
Then
other
why
day.
did she wear gloves to pick it up?
It still could be hot.
I have no idea.
I'm
It
just
can be
saying,
too hot
dude,
to
like,
pick up even when it's not boiling.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be, but
The
by
metal itself.
his own definition,
Others-
we don't know, right? So
Well,
I mean, nobody in
I-
that house was a scientist, so we don't know if it was a
I'm
boiling
just
or
saying,
not.
dude, like if
Look,
it's
I literally
steaming, you
just
know
cooked
it's
some
hot, though,
vegetables and
right?
have a hot pot in front of me.
Okay,
and I
but
had
if it's
to-
steaming, we know
Yep.
it's hot. That's what I'm saying.
Yes,
Here you go.
but it doesn't mean it's boiling.
Did you chat GPT it, MRM?
Hold on.
Okay.
And if she was smart, she put salt in it to drop the temperature.
There you go. You
Drop the fucking pot. Drop the fucking pot.
Yep, 3 shots.
3 shots. Okay.
Quick ones.
Yep.
Quick as shit.
Well, I think that she was acting a little shady in the beginning, like she didn't even give him.
She was acting crazy.
Well, like she didn't know what her first
yeah.
name was.
She,
They-
like I even asked if she
her
was
last
hot.
name. her
I
last
even asked
name.
if she was hot.
Well, if you
All
guys
right, yeah.
went and watched the whole video, it's obvious that she has some mental issues going on. It
Oh,
really
okay,
was.
okay,
She
okay.
was-
Yeah,
yeah.
she-
I mean,
yeah.
She
Yeah.
has some stuff going on there. We see this all the time in the hospitals and even in
But-
like a lot of the homes that we're over that people kind of, they can, and she even kind of, I think throughout the video, she even mentioned that she was not on her meds at the time or something like that. And like I
Okay.
said, one
But
minute the
Chaotic has a
car
point though. He's got a
wasn't
point. They've
hers
got
and the
to
next
prove
minute the car
existential
was
threat.
hers.
They have to
So-
prove that they had an existential threat to be able to use lethal force.
Yeah, and they did.
Chaotic has a point. If that was not boiling water, which it doesn't look like they'll be able to prove it, they'll have to find out what the temperature of the room was and use every other variant they have in the video. But if they cannot prove that they were actually in a threat, then it don't matter. It doesn't matter.
There's also
Yeah.
2 of them, one of her, and a
Yeah.
countertop full of shit in between the 2 of them. You don't even know how much water's in the fucking pot.
Yeah.
How long it's been sitting there. Just
And-
because it's steaming doesn't mean it's boiling.
And I'm telling you, dude, she was 12 feet away. There's no way that water is going to do a lot of damage. Like,
No, it will
Like-
cool rapidly too, going through the air, which a lot of people don't believe
it'll
that's
drop
what
what,
it does.
10, 20 degrees? Yeah, it'll drop 10, 20 degrees going through the air.
And I'm
You
Dropped
sorry.
a hot
Especially
cup of coffee
when the
before it had
molecules and
its
everything
splash up
kinda-
on your leg.
Now,
It wasn't that
It's
bad.
gonna hurt. I'm not saying it ain't gonna hurt,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
dude,
It's got to go up. It's got to go up and out.
fuck
I
it.
can't throw a stockpile of
And-
water like that.
And I'm still saying he drew his weapon a little too quick. I know. I saw
Oh,
the
he
video,
was-
bro. I
Yeah.
know. I saw her put her hands on the pot, but I still think he drew his weapon too quick, man. Especially considering the
what
force.
bothered him?
The force
but what-
going, yeah.
But what bothered him so bad with her hands on the pot and then saying that she rebukes him and then
Yeah, like that's just weird, man.
what made him so angry after
I
that?
know that shit pissed him off like real
Exactly.
Something,
bad. Like
man.
he was Muslim or some shit.
What?
Like she
Oh,
hit him with Jesus.
oh.
It's like she offended his religion or something because he went to 100 immediately.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
was
he went from
weird,
0 to
man.
100.
There was
And
no
the only
build up
thing-
or nothing.
Right, and the only thing I said, even though the cop never said it himself once they interrogated him and all that, I said the only thing I could have drew from that is that when her saying "I'll rebuke you in the name of Jesus," the only thing I said he could have got away with is I thought she said "I'll shoot you in the name of Jesus" because rebuke, I'll shoot, I'll rebuke, I'll shoot. I don't know, but it's still though that a pot of water though, I still just can't. Yeah,
Not with
sorry,
that
man.
part.
Yeah,
Being
like,
in
I don't-
Chicago, what I've
yeah.
seen, what people grabbed and everything like that, I've seen. I mean, even though they don't show this a lot, I grew up around that stuff, man. I've seen dudes with machetes. I've seen dudes with shivs. I've seen dudes with sharpened toothbrushes at the end, wanting to come at cops, and these cops literally tase these dudes. But I never thought. I mean, a pot of water though, man. Even if it is hot water, they could have ran away. Had a gun drawn. Just don't you throw that water while back and back, you know.
Yeah,
and,
yeah.
But,
He was
it's so
obviously
much.
short-tempered, short fused, however you want to call it. He did, and I guarantee you, he's gonna get a murder rap because.
Oh, he did. They charged him
Got
with murder.
murder one.
No, I'm
Yeah,
saying
first
he
degree.
he'll be found guilty though. Is what I'm saying. So like he didn't follow proper procedure. Like that's just not.
I can run hot water out of my tap hot enough to burn me because I have hot water on demand. It can come out 140 degrees out of my tap if I have it that way. But she's got water unknown length of time on a pot.
Kadek, I think
on
you
the
proved your
stove.
point. I just looked it up too, and it'll actually steam
Yes.
at 98 degrees if it's
Yes.
cold outside.
Yes.
Okay. So, what's your point, man? I mean, we're
No, my
all with you,
my
dude.
whole
Like,
point.
Like,
No,
do,
my whole
do you
point
want
was-
a gotcha moment, man? I got you, dude. I
No.
understand.
My whole point was when I was on my channel, people kept saying boiling, you know, and I kept trying to say
Yeah.
that nobody
doesn't mean boiling.
knows if it was boiling or not. That's all I was saying. I'm not trying to prove you
Fair.
wrong or anything.
Fair.
It's just that
But
they're-
she was
they're-
wearing gloves
they're-
because it was fucking hot.
yeah, they, I mean,
98
All right,
degrees,
it was fucking
98
hot, bro. I'm not okay. I will concede to the fact that it wasn't boiling, but it was hot enough for her to wear fucking gloves, dude. Okay.
yeah, I mean, my whole argument was when I was on my channel, like everybody kept saying boiling, and the thing is that nobody was there to test the temperature, so we don't know if it was boiling or not. That's all.
10
I
out of
was saying.
10 out of 10 people will not want to be hit with some shit that has steam coming from it, whether they
Yeah,
know the
dude,
exact
yeah, I
temperature
mean,
of
like,
it or
dude,
not.
And but still, I'm on your side, man. I'm still agreeing with you. There was no
Yeah,
reason for that use of force. Okay.
Oh, no, he's
That-
outta here. He's
dude,
gone.
I don't give a fuck if it was
I
at
agree.
250 fucking degrees and it was basically instant vapor when it was coming out. That's the hottest you get steam. But
If there was ever a situation where
Damn.
people should have went and burned shit down, it would have been this one, not all.
yeah,
that
like George Floyd was bullshit.
Yeah,
okay?
it was.
100%.
That motherfucker was on so much drugs he was gonna die anyways. all
and he
right?
was resistant. Yeah,
he
and
would have died that day if Derek Chauvin was never born.
yeah, dude, that guy was gone. All right, and he was a horrible human being that now has statues of him, and he's a folklore hero. There you go. That's history for you, baby. Okay, but this woman, 37 years old, obviously off her meds. Okay, like that cop was the wrong cop to take the call. Okay,
I
he had
agree.
no patience. He had that guy does not deserve to have a badge and a gun.
Wait.
He never deserved to have a
But-
badge and a gun. Okay, that's
but we've also
those
got,
are the cops that give us bad names. Pretty much.
we've also on another point here, we do have quite the large amount of the population on antidepressants, anti-anxiety meds, antipsychotics.
yeah.
And if you are off those things, not even for very long. I mean, you could just listen. I can tell you right now, I'm on antidepressants and an
You made Mr. K
antidepressant
mad.
and anti-anxiety pill. If I do not take them by noon, 12:30, my husband better just stay away. I mean, he knows he's got to stay away. He's like,
I got a question for you.
Did you take your medicine yet?
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
I got a question for you because I'm a thinking adult. I might be out of line for this, but these people that are on these behavior meds, right?
Yeah.
If you have a brain in your fucking head and you can think, all you have to do is just not act that way. It isn't that easy.
Okay. Well, no, it's not. All right.
You have to explain that to me, how you can cognitively understand in your mind.
Really complicated subject, man. Seriously.
Uh-oh.
Super complicated. What? What's up?
Well,
Nah,
yeah,
I don't really
it's not,
think it is.
Okay. All right. No. I'm talking about it's all about chemical composition in the brain. That's literally what we're talking about.
Shit.
Okay.
Yep.
We're talking about a chemical composition in the brain. Now, anxiety, you're 100% correct. You can literally decide whether or not you want to be afraid of something or not afraid of something. You can actually teach yourself to control that.
Nope.
Yes, you can. Yes, you can.
Well, yeah,
You want to know how
can.
I know? You want to know how I know?
Okay,
'Cause I've
yeah,
literally-
yes.
Been taught to do
Yes,
it. Okay.
yes.
Okay. Now, can you?
But
can
are you all
control-
at the point? Are we all at that point?
No, of course not. No.
And
but
when you don't
anxiety
take that
has been
medicine-
risen consistently across the board because of all these anti-anxiety medications that we're giving our kids. Okay, it's literally poisoning our children. We're telling kids it's okay to have an edible whenever you freak out. That's not okay. All right? You can't do that. You can't give a fucking 13-year-old a goddamn edible because she's having a hard time because she's got an algebra test coming up on fucking Monday. That's not the way it works.
I think when somebody's freaking out, I think if you really knock the shit out of them real fucking hard, the problem is solved.
Yeah. Tell them to man the fuck up or grow a pair. Yes, I agree with you 100%.
I'm not a believer in these spike meds. I think these people are bullshitting and just looking for attention.
Psychology is a pseudoscience, man.
Because my brain doesn't glitch like that. So there shouldn't either. I know when to stop myself.
No, that's anecdotal. You cannot use anecdotal evidence. You can't do that. That's you.
I don't trust
only
books
you.
And I don't trust.
Okay. Well, then trust the science. You trust science?
I can't. Fuck no.
What?
Hell no.
You believe in gravity, right?
No. Science is.
What do you mean you don't believe in gravity? You literally are using gravity right now. Like gravity's keeping you on the ground.
Okay, not all science is settled like gravity.
Okay, I'm talking about science that can be proven by the scientific method. That's what I mean by science.
Okay, well, I can tell you that.
Then what do you believe, man? You got to have there has to be a basis for your belief.
Watch this. Science gave you 5 basic food groups.
No, science did not give you 5 basic food groups.
I'm gonna beg you not to cut me off. Watch this. They gave you 5 basic food groups. One of them is dairy and one of them meat.
That was the government. That wasn't science.
Government and science are one and the same. Okay?
They use it to their ability, but the government was the one that created the 5 basic food groups, and you're correct. The 5 basic food groups are correct. They're hard.
Yeah, science does what the government tells it to do.
How much? Yeah, and how many?
The government uses the science as a weapon.
Science makes sure that we're sick all the time. Nobody dies from normal causes anymore. Everybody dies from something. That's your science that you believe in. They created that. Okay, that's what they're being paid millions and billions of dollars for to fuck you up.
Are you saying everybody dies?
Money to keep you. Money to keep. That there's money in keeping.
Okay, hold on. Well, first, do you know what the scientific method is? Do you know what the scientific method is?
Yes.
I'm talking about the gentleman. Do you know what the scientific
I've been hearing it.
Okay. All right. So the scientific method is the only real way to prove whether something is true or not. And the 5 basic food groups were never put to the scientific method.
And if it's
okay.
And here's the thing. They give you wait a minute. They give you the scientific method and they tell you that these people tried this and then they write it down. But the human being is so fucking dumb, they'll just believe it. They'll
just believe that shit.
Wait a minute. They won't go try it themselves. Right, so they'll put this in their mind concretely. This is the scientific method, and that's why all these dumb motherfuckers are sick and fat.
Okay, but your original statement is that you don't suffer from this problem because also remember you come from a completely different generation. Okay, you're only about what half a decade older than me. Okay, so you come from kind of the same generation I do. I don't suffer from those problems either. So it would be highly coincidental to say that all of these Gen Zers are suffering from the same problem. Okay. All right.
Right.
So at that same point, you also have to at least say that there could be a possibility that something is forcing these kids, or at least giving them the opportunity to be susceptible to what it is that you're talking about. And one of the biggest problems we mentioned earlier, in women specifically, is birth control. There's 200 kinds of birth control, and each one of them cause a different fucking reaction in every woman that takes it. It's a chemical reaction because it chemically affects the brain. So to answer your question, a lot of the problems come from the same goddamn shit that Big Pharma is pushing out anyways. Okay? So, but also on that same factor, when you're told from the day that you're born, you're perfect. There's nothing you can do that is wrong. You don't ever have to change. No, we'll change the world for you. Dude, you're going to honestly believe that you're a prince or a princess and you're the center of the fucking universe. So the first time you run into something that doesn't work, you're going to freak the fuck out. You're going to not know what the fuck to do. That's also one of the reasons why it's happening.
Go ahead.
How much of the population is Gen Z or younger that actually believes that's actually been babied like that and then actually does think that? How many of us are there like that though?
I mean, you're talking about Gen Z specifically?
Well, you just said Gen Z.
Yeah. I mean,
first that wasn't my generation that was coddled. The millennials had some coddling.
Yeah,
that's where they started with the participation.
Well, I mean, we're all Gen X, right? Everybody here is Gen X, aren't we? Isn't everybody Gen X?
No, he's 39. He said.
All of you on this panel, except for me and her, are all batshit crazy by default.
How?
If you're under 50 years old, you're fucked up. You don't have breast milk in your system. I know what
I've
the
got
fuck
breast
I'm
milk
talking
in
about.
my system, dude. You're not that
Dude.
much older than me, man.
Most of that 99% of the generation, starting at 45 years old, 50 does not have breast milk and they grew up on an assortment of candy and colorful juices and airplane smog that was 50 years old, factory smog that was already 50 years old. They never had a chance to think, ever. That's why you have things called debates now, because nobody can figure nothing the fuck out. They're all fucked up.
That's a pretty
Guys, on
deep
that note,
argument.
I'm gonna roll up out here. MRN, thank you so much, man. A panel salute to you guys, Reese, man. Good seeing you, man. Nice to
Yeah,
see
I
you.
was getting ready to. I was actually
Nice
getting
to-
ready to start asking for closing
Yeah.
remarks.
All right,
Thank
man.
you guys so much,
Yo,
man.
I actually
Yeah,
have an
I get it.
exit speech. Because I'm leaving too. I have a theory that I came up with on another panel the other day about chaotic truth and people like Tommy Sotomayor and Jesse Lee Peterson, right? Because if we had a coon vote, a poll in the spaces that we're in, y'all know what I'm talking about.
Jesse
Chaotic
Lee
will go to the
Peterson.
top of that list. You know it. But I have a theory. I've told these niggas on this panel, I think that people like Chaotic Truth, Tommy Sotomayor, and Jesse Lee Peterson care more about the community than you do, and the dashikis, because
This
they're
your
willing
first time
to
on my channel, Reese?
Nah, you don't drop I watch you all the time, but you don't ever drop the link. So
Define a dashiki real quick for me, please. I've heard it used.
I'm just making fun of like woke people that wear African garments and hate whites.
Right,
and
that's
pyramid
that's
shit
the
all
new
day
definition,
long.
right? That's
Yeah,
the
my
new
fault.
definition of a dashiki.
Hey,
right?
chaotic.
Yeah.
How do I get the names to show up on here? I'm trying my best to try to get the names to show
Yeah,
up.
I was wondering why they weren't showing up too, man. That's why I asked
Yeah.
everybody's name.
I know
dude.
you
It could
don't like
be
it
the
that much.
fact that you have the strolling.
My name's on the bottom of where I see my little.
No,
cell.
but but on the
Oh,
screen,
I have no idea. Then you in StreamYard?
Yeah, we're all in
it's a
StreamYard.
StreamYard,
I have no idea, bro.
Hey,
But check
and
this
I
out,
pro-
y'all. See, I understand that your eyes aren't that
Hmm.
much better or worse than anyone's else's, right? So everyone sees the same thing. Some people have courage to talk about it, and some don't. You get
Ask
a little
yourself why that
extreme
is,
and a
though.
little silly, and everybody knows that now. By now, all right?
Uh-huh.
Everybody knows that about you. But what you say is true a lot. And even though it stings, you have the courage to say it anyway. And then you'll see a panel with 9 people on it denying something that they know they see every fucking
2 + 2 = 5.
I really
Shit like
think
that.
y'all care more. I could be wrong.
I
I
do,
never know
man.
what's in anybody's head,
I
but
do.
it seems that way.
Thank you so much,
But
Reese.
bro, he didn't have breast milk. What the fuck?
He's still
Guys, have a good one. Thank you so much, Reese.
Oh, you ain't got no closing words?
Hey, Trump 2024, man. Trump Vance, guys, have a good one.
MAGA baby.
Absolutely.
I'm out, y'all.
Salute, guys. Peace.
Out. All right, Ms. Renee, you got any closing words, ma'am?
Y'all, I don't know. It's just I really have lived in a whole different world than a lot of this, and I just and I didn't teach my kids to be this way. I know they're grown-ups. They are not this way, and from what I can see so far, I've got a daughter who is not babying and not coddling and not shoving 24/7 news cycle and 24/7 entertainment. Must now have something to entertain me, keep my attention. I can't. Then all of a sudden, I got ADHD and I can't, whatever. No, those are. I realize that might be a significant majority of what's going on, but there are those of us who know that used to call ourselves woke until that word was co-opted, and now we're anti-woke. We were woke. It was woke. It was woke to know what the shit was, what really was going on, and then woke was taken over by all of this other social justice warrior stuff and all these other movements, and now now people like me sit back and we're like, oh no, nope, anti-woke. Don't be calling me that. Don't be calling me woke.
All right. Hey, well, we appreciate you coming through. And when I go live again, and whatever like that, if you happen to be in the neighborhood, wouldn't bother me to have you come up here again. Sis, really appreciate it. Don't forget to ask your dad about that, though. I mean, all he can say is no.
I'm sure I'd have to come with him. He's a little technology,
Yeah, all he can say is no. I just open discussion. He'll be free. He'll be able to speak his mind freely. Whatever he says, I'm not going to judge him. I just want an understanding. Whatever. That's it. Nothing
Great.
at all. So
Great.
and if he, I'm
Yep.
not trying to let him know I'm not trying to change him, convince. I'm not trying to do any of that. I just want to hear it. So
Yeah.
He sounded a lot like my grandfather. I
So-
was going to talk to you about that while we were doing this, but we didn't get a chance.
Yeah, well, and for him, he's in for Ty. Ty knows the same area that I'm talking about,
mhm.
and you know where my dad would have been coming from. And yeah, I would help him get on here, and then I would sit back and shut my mouth.
Cool. All right. Well, we appreciate you. We'll catch you in the next one, sis.
Okay, bye.
All right. Have a good night.
Nice to meet you.
All right, Vincent De Leon. You, sir, closing words?
Are you into pop culture?
What?
Are you into pop culture?
What do you mean?
You know, like movies, comic books,
Yes,
video
sir.
games. Were you Star Wars or Star Trek?
Neither one. I've never seen one episode, one video, one nothing of either one of them.
What was your sci-fi?
What did I watch, sci-fi? I didn't grow up with the luxury of having TV or nothing like that, so I really can't even.
Okay.
If you're
what's
talking
your-
about
what's your comic? What's your pop culture? What's your
Marvel,
when you
DC,
think about Marvel, DC? Okay, so did you prefer Marvel or did you prefer DC?
I kind of was balanced between the two.
Favorite characters from both?
My favorite character from Marvel would be Thanos. My one from DC, I gotta go with that's a tough one.
Thanos was your favorite character from Marvel.
Mm-hmm.
How did they defeat him in the original Infinity Gauntlet series in the comic books?
Let me pull it out. Yeah, I'm lost. I had no comics.
So
I'm
why
talking
is
about
he your
character wise. So what it is that we in Jamaica, we had to get the stuff read to us. So
So when you were introduced to Thanos, was it from the Avengers movies?
that and a little bit of comics. I just like the logic behind it.
Bro, you
Some of the
don't
logic.
know,
Well,
bro,
understand.
you don't know who Thanos is. Bro. He's
Understand
so cool.
though.
Like he is so cool. Do you understand? He's like one of the greatest characters in all of Marvel. I'm not saying he isn't, but you have the DEI version of bullshit ideology, woke mentality Thanos. You don't.
You
dude,
talking about in the movies?
Yeah, that's what the movies.
Oh, I got
dude,
you. I know what you're saying.
Yeah, dude. No. Okay, so nobody in DC. No one.
I can't really put my finger on who would be my favorite though.
Well, if you like Thanos from Marvel, then you probably would like Darkseid from DC.
I knew you was gonna say that too. But yeah,
I mean, dude, they're basically the same fucking
same
character.
person.
I mean,
Yeah.
Yeah,
I got you.
They really are. I mean, they're different personalities, I guess. I would say Thanos is more of a neutral bad guy than a straight. He'd be like Thanos would be neutral evil, and Darkseid would be chaotic evil, lawful evil. But
I would say that. Yeah.
lawful evil would be Darkseid. But yeah. Okay.
Yep. And I'm a gamer too. So yeah, big time.
RPG, survival horror. What?
Yeah, RPG. Like I think one of my best games that I've ever played, in my opinion. I love Witcher 3.
Dude, I just beat it for the 7th time because I know they're about to woke it out and destroy it. And right after I just beat it again, they said that now they're gonna drop another DLC on it.
Stop
For
playing.
real.
Are you serious?
No, I'm not playing, dude. It's like it's my top 3. I'm an RPG survival horror guy.
Holy
So-
smokes.
Yeah, dude. Like, and I've beaten it on like the hardcore, like where it's like impossible
Yeah.
to kill anything. Yeah, and so they're about to drop another DLC apparently because the woke crowd now doesn't want Geralt to be the main character because he's a toxic man. So
What?
Yeah, so they're gonna bring in. They're saying it's gonna be Ciri.
No,
They're saying it's gonna be Ciri, but it probably won't be Ciri. It'll probably be a
Come
lesbian
on,
black
man.
chick or something. I don't know, but yeah. So, but we do have confirmation of number 4. But as of right now, it's been taken over by the woke garbage people.
So then it's gonna show
Okay.
when those prices drop, and nobody's gonna be doing it because they're going that route with it. That's some
Dude,
bull-
look at 76, man. They didn't give a fuck about 76.
Oh my God.
76 was a shit shoot, dude. And nobody, like, we told them, don't make it an MMO. Everybody said it. Don't make it an MMO. What'd they do? They made it a fucking MMO. Okay, like, Fallout players like playing solo campaigns. They don't like playing MMOs.
Yes.
What'd they do? They made a goddamn MMO out of it.
Just like
And-
if they did God of War like that, don't.
Dude,
Don't.
don't fuck with God of War, man. Like
Don't.
that is the only game of that style that I actually like. If you fuck with God of War, I'd be so pissed.
Yeah.
But no, like look what they did to KOTOR. KOTOR 1 and KOTOR 2. You never played it because you're not in that genre. But it's a Jedi game. It's the
Mhm.
only Jedi games that ever came out that were actually true D20, D&D based type things. Oh no, Renee, you were awesome. Thank you. By the way, she was really cool. I wasn't expecting her to be that cool. Thank you, Renee. But if you ever get a chance, I know you're not into Star Wars, but it really is an RPG turn-based style game. It really is, and it's considered
Which one is it called?
Knights of the Old Republic 1 and Knights of the Old Republic 2. I recommend Knights of the Old Republic 2, but some people choose 1 is better, but I think 2 is better. But you get to design.
Does it matter if you play one or the other first? Like, would I need to get 1 to understand 2?
No, I always tell everyone to play them in order. But I mean, dude, you don't ever have to play 1 if you don't want to. 2 is I like 2 better because I'm a gear freak. So I like designing my own gear. I like making my own armor, stuff like that.
Sound like my sons.
All right, and that's why I like 2 because it's more in depth. You know, 1 is more of it's a shorter version, and you don't really get to level that much. It's a level cap at 20. KOTOR 2 has no level cap, so you get to just go. But you know, it's a 5-planet open world game, so there's only so far you can go. But anyways, I digress. So no, the reason why I ask is because what I did used to talk about when I was going to my channel twice a week was I would incorporate exactly what we talked tonight, like how they've affected our kids. One of the answers to his questions, he didn't let me really get to a lot of it, but one of the answers to his questions of why they're attacking us and how they're attacking us is through our pop culture. I mean, if you go turn on Netflix, right? If I were to turn on Netflix
God.
and we were to go to the new shows, it's going to be Woman Strong, it will be women centric, and it will be DEI across the board. Okay? And even though Maverick came out and destroyed every movie that's been made in the last 6 years, they didn't care. They didn't care, man. Maverick did $1 billion by itself, bro. They didn't give a shit. It's a fucking movie about a goddamn plane.
Right.
Renaissance Man. Oh, sorry.
That was man, that Top Gun, and then it made you feel so freaking goddamn
Dude.
patriotic.
Dude, it did, man. And you know
Man.
what? There was a chick in the movie that was a pilot, and they didn't celebrate it because she had a vertical taco. It was awesome. Like, she was just another one of the characters. They didn't spend 30 minutes talking about how she was a badass person because she was a strong woman. No, she was just one of the people. Like, oh my God. You know? Do you ever watch the Whatever podcast? I was curious. I saw somebody mention the Crucible earlier. So I was wondering if you ever
at Whatever. Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. So one of the things that they talk about is they talk about this stuff too. They bring on, they're more of a gotcha show where they bring on stupid women and they basically let them hang themselves, you know?
Right.
But the Crucible, though, the guy, Andrew Wilson, man, he's really waking a lot of people up. Talking about some of the things we talked about tonight. And what I try to do is I try to educate people to be careful what they show their kids, careful what games they play, careful what comics they read, be careful what movies you let them watch, you know, because you don't, a lot of people, and this, I know you're a parent. I don't have any kids yet. But,
my sons are grown. I got a 22-year-old and a 20-year-old. My sons are grown.
Okay. So you don't have to do this anymore. But like, a lot of parents don't understand what they're letting their kids watch. They just don't. It's not like it's just Spider-Man and Friends anymore, you know? There's a lot more of that. Mm-hmm. So for everybody watching this, for all the parents out there that are going to watch this video, just be careful what your kids are watching, especially if it's like for instance, did you hear about the new Batman series that just came out on Prime?
No, not yet.
Penguin's a woman that's 6'5". Oh. And Batman can't hit her very hard because she's a woman.
Jesus Christ. That's how they screwed up with Captain Marvel, too.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, no, yeah, exactly. Captain Marvel. You mean the Captain Marvel that was killed 7 times in Marvel and she was rewritten 9? That Captain Marvel? The one that everybody hated so much that they killed her off 7 times. Did I already say that? I think I said that. Yeah.
Gosh.
Yeah, that Captain Marvel. That apparently was just as strong as Thanos in the movies.
You already know. See, that had me. That had me so. Do you know how mad I was when I saw that part?
That was horrible. Like, dude. Okay, Spider-Man could fight Captain Marvel. Okay, that's how weak she was in the comics. Like, no shit.
Right.
She didn't have any fucking weird powers that made her do optic blasts. Shit, dude, that wasn't her. She couldn't fly in fucking space. Now they did get some of her backstory correct, whatever.
Right.
I think she did have a spaceship. I think that might be where they get that from. But no, dude, like yeah, like that was horrible. And then did you ever watch the behind the scenes of it, of Captain Marvel? Did you ever watch that?
I haven't even seen Captain Marvel at all.
I didn't watch it, but I watched the behind the scenes to see who the director was. It's a redheaded lesbian. Imagine that. Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah. So I mean, but then again, they don't really hide it from us anymore. But man, look, it's late. I know you're probably trying to get off of here. Thank you, guys. If you want to come to my channel and subscribe, I'm trying to get back on. It's been a rough year, man. This has been the worst year since Biden's been in for us. My business has been just in the tanks, like seriously. So I've been doing everything I can to just try to stay afloat. I don't have a lot of time to make material, but a majority of my material is just like what you saw tonight. I do try to be a little bit more uplifting. I was kind of having fun tonight. I do apologize for all the F-bombs, but that's kind of me. That's who I am. I don't really give a shit. And YouTube can go fuck itself because they're censoring us. You know, there's over 150 words now we can't say on YouTube.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, 150.
I know.
150. Okay, like how? Anyways, I'm not even getting into it. It's another conversation, dude. I would love to join you again if you'll have me on. I really would. It'd be fun. Okay.
Sounds good.
All right. See you guys later. You guys take care and peace out. Peace,
All right. Check you later, sir.
Later.
Good evening. All right, folks. Appreciate all the people that came up here and cammed up, showed their face, gave their advice and all that good stuff like that. Yeah, like what he just got done saying, it is true because it's something that I do with my young mentees. All the ones that I mentor, they don't have a cell phone, they don't have a computer in their room, they don't have a TV in their room. They have a computer and the TV is going to be only in the living room. The parents are all contractually signed off on this, right? And the stuff that they watch are stuff that I watch. They watch the Tom and Jerry's, the Looney Tunes, the Animaniacs. They watch stuff like that. They don't watch none of the new stuff. Not at all. Like I told, and I kid you not, they all watch the old school Felix the Cat, the old school Mickey Mouse stuff, like not the new stuff, nothing new at all. Scooby-Doo, they watch stuff that I watched in the 80s. Because guess what? As a kid is growing up, they don't know what era they're in. They don't know what's the next new thing. As long as you have it in their house and that's their world, they don't know that. Like my sons grew up watching Martin Lawrence. They grew up watching Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, the ones that I watched, right? They watched that from the time that they were kids until they were teenagers. They didn't even know that new stuff was new stuff because in their mind, that was the new stuff. So that's a good point that he made right there. And I absolutely 100% keep them all the way away from all that woke bull crap. Y'all know me on this channel. You know that you know what I'm about. They watch all the old school Disney stuff, not none of the new stuff at all. Keep them away from that because it completely puts an ideology in their head and it's an attack on kids. There's a reason why predators in the real wildlife, predators go after what first? They go after the kids, the easy, the babies. They go after the babies first. That's who predators want. Then they'll go after the old, right? They go after the old because they know they can be easily taken. And then they go after the ones that are injured. So if you think about that in a metaphorically way, and you think about that in like a emotional way, that's who they go after. Right now, school systems going after the children right now, trying to hypersexualize them, trying to make these kids make life-changing, altering decisions by having their genitals cut off or taken out, all that. That's why they go after the young. They learn it's predatory behavior is what it is. They prey on those that are old. They prey on you that are injured, whether you've been injured emotionally, spiritually. They prey on you and take advantage of you. Anyway, folks, appreciate you guys all being here. Some of my folks in here know me real well, like the Raven. He's like, Ty's not going to bed. Yeah, y'all don't know me. I can only sleep like 5 hours tops. So I'm not going to bed till probably 2. This is a weekend. I'm probably not going to go to bed till like around 4 o'clock or something like that. What I do is do work off to the side though. I pre-record some videos and I'm going to be uploading tomorrow. The only time I'm not doing that is when I'm asleep. So somebody was in here throwing some. Somebody was in. God is good all the time. You got jokes. You got jokes, man. That's why I'm not going. That's why I'm not going to read this chat. See, Raven knows me. He knows that. He knows me real good. But God is good. You are horrible. Anyway, y'all, let's get ready to get out of here. I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Hoping and praying that every last one of you have food, shelter, and clothing. And most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually. God bless you all.